Hello, welcome to our new studios.
Yeah, we decided that we were going to record in different places, and they're nearer. They're closer to each other.
They're in the same time zone, which is a first.
They're just not in either of our homes.
No. Where are you?
Portland.
Portland? Oh, I'm in Eugene, Oregon.
Okay, yeah, so we're both in Oregon. Nice.
Just like same state. That's
Is
kind
it
of
Oregon
random.
or Oregon?
It's Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But I hear people go Portland, Oregon, and I go, am I the wrong one here?
No,
Okay.
it is Oregon, yes. Portland, Oregon.
Oregon, not Oregon.
Well, I think it's sort of the same. Portland, Oregon. Oregon.
All right.
Oregon.
Let's do this for an hour.
It's just not Oregon. I know that.
I'm in Oregon. I say Oregon, whether or not that's true. Whoops.
Oregon. Well, I think it's close enough. They
Sure.
gave me this like really bizarro hotel room. I recorded Beach Too Sandy here yesterday, so this really does feel like my own. I told my brother that I got this Matisse on the wall, and he was like, "Why did you cut it into 3 pieces?" And I was like, first of all,
he's meant to be a stepdad.
He is. And then they gave me like a little fireplace, except I don't know if I know how to work it, and a little bathtub. And I was like, this is such a little fun.
And you have your own lady in white over there in that bathrobe, standing perfectly upright.
Oh my gosh, you scared me. I didn't know she was part of the room. But there
Do you ever use the bathrobes in a hotel?
I did yesterday because I took a bath, and I was like, well, then I guess I use a bath. And I'm wearing these, which like they're like the little slippies.
Okay.
So I thought, like,
spa? What the hell's going on?
It sort of is. Like, I don't know. It's really cute. I made like myself a little cheese board from the market next door. I've just been kind of in my little
Oh yeah,
it's like 39 degrees out right now. So I'm like, I don't want to leave. I just want to be inside.
I was gonna say this is your first real solo travel. How's it going?
That's right. It's my Eat, Pray, Love adventure. I slept in a train. It was so nice, and it was storming. So like it was like all that kind of thundery, like inside a train caboose. Honestly, that was the best I've slept in a long time.
Did it look like a train caboose, or did they just turn it into a hotel room?
Oh my God, look. Oh, the inside? It's really cool. It's kind of a combo. I'll send you the pictures. I meant to yesterday, but I was driving all day. I'll send you guys the pictures and we can post them. But it was so like charming because it had all the wood paneling. I got to sit up in the cupola thing and like, you know, look out at the mountains. And it was great. And then the next day I went to Weed, California, and I bought a bunch of little souvenirs because of course.
I bet you did.
And then I drove through a blizzard, and they said, no further driving unless you have chains on your tires. And I said, excuse me, everybody, I'm coming through without chains on my tires. But honestly, I was like, what do? I don't want to get like pull over. I don't know. There's nowhere else to go. So I just like kept driving and hoped no one would look at my tires. And then I made it to the other side. So it's all good. Yeah.
Great. That's awesome. I would have been like, okay, well, I'm never driving again. As you know, I'm so terrified of snow driving.
I mean, listen, after that snowbank incident, I feel invincible. I'm like, you could throw me in a snowbank and I'd be like, been there, done that.
Out of the car accidents that could have came from us driving on bad snow, that was a great one.
Okay, yeah. If it's just like check and done, like please, let's leave that as the one because it really was a good story.
Yeah.
And nobody got hurt.
We just slid around a little.
Yeah. And like I got to eat my own words of being like, I'm good at driving in snow. And then all of a sudden.
You're still the better of all of us.
I don't know if that's true. I think I'm just more boldly confident for no good reason.
All right. Well,
but yeah. What about
it's gotten you places.
Tell me about your life. What are you up to?
Yesterday I did quite a lot of things. I was out from like 8 a.m. until like 1 a.m.
What?
What
were you doing? Anything worth noting?
Well, I'm trying to see all the sites, but like I knew going into Portland it was going to be a toughie because there's so much and it's all weird. So I had to.
Did you do any repeats, or was it just like all stuff that you?
It was all. Well, I've never really done any repeats because anytime we've been to Portland before, I have friends that live here, and so I like as much as I love the part of our job where I get to see friends that live out of state. What that means is I have to like sacrifice my own like solo travel days because they're like, oh, let me take you around. And I'm like, that's really nice. But I also had a list of shit I wanted to do.
Yeah,
and, like,
sorry. I have a lot of errands to run.
Yeah,
by
so
myself.
I haven't told my friends that I'm in town, so I'm trying to do all those things
We won't tell.
before, because they do know they're coming to the show. They know that I'm gonna be in town, and they took the day off tomorrow to hang out with me. So I'm trying to do all my stuff before tomorrow.
Is there a favorite thing that you've done, or one that you're most excited about?
Mm, I went to like like the barbecue places where you can like make your own meat on the table. They had one of
Oh,
those,
yeah,
but
yeah.
for pancakes. So I made my own pancakes
Oh,
for
wait, that's cute.
breakfast.
Is that what your shirt is? I was about to say your shirt said Pancake, I thought.
No, actually, that's interesting
Oh.
that you.
I
Okay,
was trying to figure out what it
so
said.
it is a pancake reference too. What's going
Wow,
on with
you're in
me?
your pancake era, I guess.
That is weird. There's something
I tried to make a
subconscious
nice
going
little
on.
segue, and it was just totally.
I'll tell you the one thing that I hated and I'll never do again was there's this place here called the Witch's Castle, and
Hang on,
it's
this is
like
actually way better of a bit. What's the least favorite thing you've done so far? Let's
the
ask
Witch's
that
Castle.
question.
It's like a I don't know the story. I'm assuming it was once like a house on the river in the woods, and it just got abandoned. And so over time, it's like overgrown, and people like have graffitied it. And now it's like this art installment place,
Okay.
and it's like a house full of murals, basically. But it's abandoned in the woods. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go there because the site I looked at that said, oh, it's just like a half mile away. It's like a 10-minute walk, 15-minute walk, and I was like, okay, great. That's not a problem. Nobody mentioned the fucking elevation. And it was basically, it was the hardest exercise of my life.
Wait, how long did you go before you were like, shit, I can't turn around now? Or were you just like, it must be here any second, and you just kept walking?
So I would have stopped even earlier than I did, but I drove so far to get there, and I was like, well, I want to make the drive. I don't want to have wasted my time.
And then that's even worse. I thought you just walked like from your hotel. Oh no.
No, I had to drive into the woods, and so luckily it was like it wasn't like going into like an abandoned part of the woods. Like a lot of people use this like. It was like a tourist area, like a little attraction. So I saw other people a lot while I was walking there, but oh my god, it was like every person was better than me in the fucking woods. Every single person there was like meant for the woods. They just ran and they're
in Oregon. They're from Oregon, of course they are. It's like built into their nature, you know.
They were like out of breath and smiling about it, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And
we're having so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and also the worst part is that it like just rained here, and so half of it was like, I'm not kidding, like it looked like I was walking on banana peels and I was almost slipping, and it was terrifying because there's no railing. It's just like if you fall, you're dead. And so I was like, and I couldn't, and going uphill in the slippery mud was even worse. So I was like, I might as well just keep going down. That was stupid. I should have gone up when I was higher up instead of having to do twice the amount.
Up and down?
Yep.
Okay.
And then get this. So then I finally get all the way back up. That sucked. I was like literally so out of breath for a long time. And then everyone that walked by me knew that I wasn't from there. And
I was like, "Are you M from And That's What We Drink?"
I was worried. I'm
worried. Maybe they could have helped you, like maybe gotten a stretcher or something.
And so once I finally got up and I was like dying, I found out apparently there's 2 trails to get to the witch's house.
No.
And one of them is much easier.
Okay, but that feels like you just kind of willed it into existence. You know what I mean?
I know. Well, everyone saw me and they're like, "Oh, you came from that way? Oh, yeah, you must be out of breath." And
what
I'm like,
"What's wrong with you?"
Like,
okay, at least that's good. At least that's normal. Like that they're like, "Whoa, that's a tough trail." Right?
Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, I'll never do it again. I got the pictures I wanted, and now I'm never going back.
I can't wait to also never do it because you got to go, and I just feel like that already gives me a pass. You know.
Other than that, I have done a lot of really cool stuff, and there's like a lot of creepy themed bars out here. I literally went to. These are just some of the bars I've been to. There was one called Creepies. There was one called Raven's Manor. There was one called The Uncanny. There was one called The Coffin Club.
Jesus.
There was a few others like that too.
They get the vibe.
So anyway, there's a lot of I'm trying to just get all of it done.
Yeah.
Before I'm with my friends because I don't want to make them I don't want to make them play tourist. You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
So
if you told them you're going to the coffin club, they'd probably be excited, but
maybe, but also when I'm in my solo travel brain, like I don't even want to talk to anyone. So after today, I have to shake it off and like
to
get back into social
socialize.
mode. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't really want anyone with me on this stuff.
I got
And
you.
so today's another busy day of
Well, you're
a
kind
lot
of
of
like the dad, like doing like this, the schedule, but it's like you're by
yes.
yourself, so it's almost like you're the dad and the child. You're like, come on, let's go, family, but it's just you. It's kind of nice. Like then there's no like infighting between everybody,
That's true. Well, I'm infighting with myself 'cause I'm
except
like I want to
you
go
on the
here, and
on
it's
the
like
muddy
you have to
trail when
go
you're
here.
about to fall off a cliff. It's like,
Well, also
Dad!
like trying to time everything because I had to like very strategically. Like I think I went to like 50 locations yesterday. Like if I like I don't
You're
have
out of
my
your
notepad with me, but
mind.
it's like it was nonstop. And so it's been no, like there would be times where I was like, I'm really hungry, and it's like food isn't for 9 stops. Like, and I had to just be like the angry dad to myself on the
Wow.
trip. Anyway, your way sounds so different than mine.
Listen, I'm fucking living the dream, except that I'm not sleeping very well. But honestly, you can hear the ads of this podcast and know that it's real. I was not lying. I'm sleeping terribly without my home mattress and home sheets. And that's a real serious problem. Oh, I texted you the pictures. Your phone's probably on Do Not Disturb.
Oh.
But if you're if you want to look, we can also post them
Mhm.
because it was pretty beautiful.
Aw.
Like scroll through, it's kind of cool.
It's very precious. Is this just through Airbnb or?
No, it's called the Railroad Park Lodge, and they have
Oh,
all
cool.
these different cabooses you can pick from to sleep in.
It's very you.
I loved it because you just pull in, you park next to your little car, they give you a key, and then you're just like, "This is my train."
Very you. What did
Yeah,
you really have the caboose or did you have?
yeah, they're all cabooses, so they're all
Oh, oh,
cabooses
oh.
because they're
Oh,
all
which
like.
one in the lineup were you?
Oh, I was number 25. Well, I picked 26 because it was
Fuck.
yellow, which is Leona's favorite color. But then they
Nice.
were like, "Oh, there's a leak because of the giant storm." And I was like,
Mm.
"Oh, okay, yeah, put me in 25 instead." That's fine. But yeah, I was in number 25, but they're all kind of like in a big circle. They don't I think the locomotive that they have, which is like the thing that pulls all the cabooses, the locomotive I think is the dining car and they have a restaurant in there.
Fun.
Yeah, it's cool. But they, of course, were closed because of all the storming. So I did order Taco Bell and I did get it delivered to my caboose. And I did feel that was also a unique experience.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's a
definitely.
good time.
Well, Christine, is there a reason why you drink? And
Well,
what do you
because I
drink?
am so excited for my portion today, folks. I have a breaking news update later that you guys are going to want to hear. Okay. So M has part 3, which I'm fucking stoked for.
I'm not. I'm so over this. I can't wait to tell another story.
3 episodes in a row is a long time, especially when we're recording over weeks of
I know.
time.
For us, it's been like 2 months, and I'm just like, I want this story to be over.
Somebody commented like, how unprofessional that Christine forgot part 2. And basically everyone was like, are you new here? Like, of course Christine forgot part 2.
Also, like, if that's unprofessional, get ready for the rest of everything we've
Get
ever
ready
done.
for just all of what we've already bitched about. Anyway, I drink because of just the nonsense that's been happening out there, and I had to basically do like notes that were like emergency notes. I didn't have to do anything. I chose to do like emergency. Most of the first page of mine are like in all capital letters. So
Okay,
I'm
great.
yeah, that's why I drink. Do you have a reason besides your really strict schedule right now?
Um, I no, well, I guess yeah. I don't feel like I have enough time to get everything done. I mean,
I mean,
Portland
honestly,
is.
that sliding off a mountain to find a witch cabin feels pretty good.
I know, but I feel like one of the things I'm mad about with that, on top of the fact that I had to exert energy, oh my God, was
Ugh.
that it ate up so much of my itinerary. Like I had to drive all the way out there, then I had to walk forever, and then walk back, and then drive back. Like I just feel like I lost time, so I
Oof.
feel even more pressed for time today. Which like my like day, there's like a certain time that everything starts today.
I
So
know. Guess what? M didn't make me do anything. M made me woke up at 8:45 a.m. and I was like, "What? Where am I?"
I'm sorry.
No, no, no. I was fine. I went to bed early enough. I'm just being a huge baby, and they have coffee here. But yeah, I'm excited because if M says we're recording at 8 or 9 a.m. That means there are wild times ahead for M. For me, it's more bed, but for M, there's lots of fun stuff going on.
Lest we forget the New Orleans trip where I woke up at like 5:30 in the morning.
I'll never fucking forget.
Because the itinerary is so strict, I have to be there.
I woke up at 11 and said, Eva, it's the itinerary strict. We have to get to the boozy brunch by noon when they stop doing bottomless mimosas. So we went down there and we checked. And Eva we were like, where's M? And we looked and you were like inside a swamp. And we were like, hello, what happened? Em was like, I've been up for 5 hours. Anyway, yeah, I'll never forget.
I cannot, like, truly medically, I actually need to see somebody about how I cannot physically wake up ever early. But the second I'm on a trip and I have 24 hours, my brain
wakes the fuck up. It's like the opposite of everybody else, you know?
I know. It's like, well, it's like, when am I going to be back here?
I guess we also don't have a strict schedule during the week. So it's sort of like, you're not waking up at 8 a.m. every day when you're at home, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I've had to start with Leona. So when I travel, I'm like, oh, I get to sleep past 8:30. Fuck yeah.
I think if I were in a different like place in my life, things would shift. But I'm trying to do as much as I can. But like we just went to like San Luis Obispo and like, love you, girl. But I was like, I'd seen it all within a day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Portland, I was like, I need minimum a week, and I have 2 days, so I like need to do as much as I physically can. Okay, so that's why I drink, and I drink water because I have nothing else in this hotel room.
I drink coffee because I made sure it would be prepared for me by the time I woke up. And by prepared for me, I hit the button on the Keurig, and there we go.
Perfect. That's lovely.
Thank you. So I know I talk about this a lot, but I'm constantly having some sleep issues. I was just texting Emma about it last night. And then when I travel, I'm like, why can't I sleep? It's because my whole bed set up at home is no longer accessible to me. And even the nicest hotels, I'm like, it's not the same as my Helix mattress. I miss it. I miss it so much. And my back hurts now whenever I don't sleep on it. I've just become dependent on the thing.
I've learned that if I don't sleep on my mattress at home, then I have to have this whole little like show in my hotel room of like what pillow goes under what leg, and it's a nightmare because I just need a very specific mattress that understands me.
Why can't they just all have the mattress I need at every hotel?
Why can't every hotel have a Helix mattress?
That would be lovely. Okay, I'm starting to actually feel like maybe we need to start a petition. Anyway. Go to helixsleep.com/drink for 20% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/drink for 20% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/drink. Bowl and Branch has asked us to talk about ways that we've tried to fix our sleep, but that would take me 45 minutes long of just listing them in bullet point order. So instead, I'm going to say thank you to Bowl and Branch to actually make beautiful 100% organic cotton sheets because I'm staying in a hotel and I woke up all sweaty and gross, and I miss my sheets.
If you really want to change the way you sleep, you need to upgrade to Bowl and Branch's 100% organic cotton sheets. You'll fall asleep faster with a luxurious softness that puts you in instant relaxation mode. I can confirm I'm also in a hotel room right now, and I miss my I don't know. I miss my setup at home. I feel like it lulls me in a way that no hotel can.
It's like so cozy, and it just doesn't feel. This feels like torture reading this right now, honestly. Bowl and Branch products are made different so you can sleep better at night. They're the perfect foundation for Bowl and Branch's airy bed blankets, cloud-like duvets, and so much more. They really do make like a nice cloud bed, as my friend Alyssa calls it. If they don't change the way you sleep, you can send them back for a full refund, so don't even worry.
Upgrade your sleep during Bowl and Branch's annual spring event. For a limited time, get 20% off at bowlandbranch.com/drink.
That's Bowl and Branch, BOLLANDBRANCH.com/drink to take 20% off site-wide for a limited time. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Okay, I'm ready to get this story
fucking
over
rock
with.
And roll.
Okay, for those who have evaded the last two episodes, this is the Miracle of Laon in Laon, France. And it's the possession of a little girl named Nicola Aubry. And this was in the 16th century during tensions between the Catholics and Protestants.
Gotta love it.
And Team Catholic thinks that the sacrament is the literal body and blood of Christ. Protestants do not. And so this is a story that fed into Catholic rhetoric that was very anti-Protestant because it was agreeing that the sacrament
Right. It
is
was sort of like
legitimate.
propaganda for the Catholics.
So I'm so sorry to do this to everybody, but we have to do a recap. I tried to get it as concise as possible. 15-year-old Nicola is possessed by something, and after enough priests work with her, they figure out that the spirit inside of her is Beelzebub. On top of that, Beelzebub later says, it's not just me in here, there's 30 fucking spirits inside of Nicola. Surprise! And then because of that, Nicola is eventually given public exorcisms for months, like daily for months, to fight these spirits out. I think in the hopes that the crowd would help pray the demon away, or just to show the power of Catholicism.
Right.
Which, by the way, I would have started making them private exorcisms when the Catholicism wasn't working after several months.
Oh, right. When that stopped working, it's like, all right, let's focus on the gift shop and the bar line, and let's kind of put a curtain up over here.
So during these exorcisms, Beelzebub calls the Protestants his faithful servants, and
that's such a good dig.
It's such a good PR move for the Catholics. And again, by the way, I'm under the assumption that Nicola was never possessed by the devil. Maybe she just had a lot of Catholic guilt. So much Catholic guilt that she was like, I'll make it right by calling all the Protestants.
It happens to the best of us.
Horrible, horrible Beelzebub believers. So during these exorcisms, demon calls Protestants his faithful servants. And every time he leaves for the day, when Beelzebub checks out of possessing her for the day, he puts Nicola into these swoons when he's not around. So she can't see or speak or talk or anything. And basically she can't give confessions. That way he can always return.
Okay.
And that's just when he's temporarily leaving. But they find a way to revive her. Nothing else will revive her from these swoons except, of course, the Eucharist. And she was apparently possessed because her mom and husband at different times cursed her in a fight. They were like, may the devil take you. And then the devil's like,
if that's all it took, I'd probably be long gone with the devil by now.
You certainly have strayed, so maybe
but
he
that's
did
true.
take
Maybe
you.
I am. That's a good point.
Beelzebub would also call out audience members for their sins and embarrass them, which led to many of them. It led to many of them confessing that day or like converting back to Catholicism. It was just a big Catholic party over there. During one of the exorcisms, Beelzebub was even contorting Nicola's body so intensely that he paralyzed her arm. The doctors even like tested it. They did horrible things to make sure that she like wouldn't flinch and that she was really in a swoon and unable to move her arm. And it seems that was real. As news spread of Nicola's possession and Beelzebub saying all these things about Protestants being in cahoots with the devil. Yeah. Protestants came into town to witness this and, prove to everybody it was a hoax. But when they got there, Beelzebub called them all out by name and saluted them and mocked them for being demonic themselves just by being Protestants. You made it, and also you're just as devilish as I am. I think he actually said they're more devilish than he is.
Oh my God. Okay, I just had a discussion yesterday with my brother about the word devilish on Beach Too Sandy, where I said, like, but isn't that sort of a compliment? Because you say, like, devilishly handsome,
I would imagine that means, like, so handsome it's a crime. Like, it's a sin. It makes
so in
me
the
lust.
Catholic Church, you shouldn't be any sort of devilry. Right. All of it's bad. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I mean, as the pastor here, yes.
Yeah, as the Catholic here, you should know.
So the Protestants are pissed. So they're coming into town to be like, we're not the devil. But one time when Nicola was in a swoon in front of these Protestants, they could not wake her up. So they begrudgingly also tried to give her a holy sacrament, which is not what they do. But they were like, we'll try the Catholic way. And she ended up waking up and it healed her. So now the Protestants are like, oh, shit, this is really awkward.
Yeah.
So the priests go tell everyone what you just witnessed. The sacrament works. The Catholics are right. The Protestants suck. And the Protestants are like, okay, fuck this town. And like, fuck this little girl too, by the way, because she's really making us look bad.
Yeah.
One Protestant doctor later even met up with her and tried to, quote, poison the demon inside of her, which the Catholics have turned into he tried to poison her to get revenge on all the things that she's been saying. But when it didn't work, and only the sacrament healed her. The Protestants that day were like, or at least in the room for this event, they were like, oh shit, the sacrament really is the only thing that helps her. Maybe she's not faking it. Okay, I guess we're Catholics because the sacrament really does work.
So the story goes that they converted right there on the spot.
Pretty
That's
much
the most Catholic thing ever. Right there in front of the miracle of Mother Mary coming down from
in
the
front
heavens.
of God and his people.
So
I don't know.
nutty. They think that they're not like ritualistic, and then they're like, behold,
Yeah.
like it's like
a magical transformation.
They fucking love a ritual, a show, like some razzle dazzle. They fucking love it.
Well, so pretty much any Protestant that comes in contact with her, it becomes a Catholic that day because they're just so blown away by the fact that she is saved by the Eucharist.
Mm-hmm.
Other Protestants are demanding that the priests start making these public exorcisms of her private. And when the priest tries it, Beelzebub comes through and says, change it back to public executions. Oh my God.
Okay, every time you've said public exorcism, I start like, seriously, my body reacts before I even realize you're saying exorcism. So I think it's probably not, you're not alone in that.
It's certainly like, an execution of the Protestants' reputation.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, before being dramatic about it, which we are. Yeah, execution and what's the other word?
Exorcism.
Exorcism. They're very close.
Well, okay, so the Protestants are like, make them private. Make these, probably because they were so embarrassed that they keep getting like
humiliating,
mocked. The priest tries it. The Beelzebub comes through and says, make them public again or I'm never leaving. Ha ha ha. And if you make them public, eventually I'll leave, but I'll never tell you when. So it's a lose-lose situation for the priest.
Okay.
So they go back to public exorcisms. And maybe as a thank you, it was just timed weirdly that one of the exorcisms right after the priest makes them public again. Nicola still has 30 demons in her, but when the priest commands them all to leave, after enough times of putting the sacrament to her lips and saying, get out of here, demons, 26 of them leave that day.
Ooh.
And where we left off in the story last week is that now there are only 4 demons remaining in Nicola.
Dun, dun, dun.
One of them being Beelzebub.
Of course.
So that's what you missed on.
What do we say? Beelzebub. What do we say?
Oh, Beelzebubby.
Beelzebubby's. You were wearing a shirt. Little Latka. What was it?
What was it?
It was like
Bubby's little matzo ball.
Matzo ball. Bubby. Okay. So Beelzebubby's little matzo ball. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Well, that's Nicola, I guess. She should have worn that shirt for sure.
Aw. I bet they sold it at the gift shop.
If they did, that would.
Can we sell it at our gift shop, aka at our live shows? Beelzebubby's
our own online store, Beelzebubby's little matzo ball.
I mean, I think it's real good, but we'll talk about it.
Could we, for the sake, because matzo balls aren't actually involved here, maybe it should say Beelzebubby's little Eucharist.
Little latke.
Little wafer.
Like a little wafer? Little flesh and blood and skin of Jesus Christ?
Beelzebub's little flesh.
Ew, no.
You don't like that?
No, I don't. Weigh in, everybody. Help me. Help me get away from that one, please. Somebody.
Okay, so with 4 demons left in Nicola, the priest asks where the others went. How did I... First of all, after months of doing this, if I were the priest, I would be like, how did I do that? I'd be like, how the fuck did I actually do that?
You'd be like, was that me? Are we sure? Was it a fluke? Yeah.
It's like when the superpowers finally kick in the 3rd act. It's like in a superhero movie. It's like, oh my God, I can fly. It happened. I feel like the priest is like, oh my God, I actually cast them out. I couldn't get any of them, and now I got 26. What the fuck happened?
It's like when I broke through Wallace for the first time. Broke into Wallace, and I was like, oh my God, that really worked. I can't believe it. M's a genius.
I don't know how I solved
I did it last night because I couldn't fall asleep, and I don't know if anyone's heard about this, my insomnia. It's all I talk about nowadays. But I was trying to fall asleep, and I was like, I'm going to break through Wallace. And it worked. Or break into Wallace. Yeah, it worked.
I don't know how I solved such a cosmic problem, but
it's worked for a lot of people who've commented.
It seems to really do the job. Yeah,
I think it's because it's almost the last thing I remember every time I fall. Like I'm like, I don't even think I realize how effective it is until the next day when I'm like, wait a minute,
did I
don't remember anything after that? So it must have worked. You know, it's kind of trippy.
It really does. It works way too well. So
yeah, it's just kind of amazing.
Thank you. Well. That's me. So
that's you. No, inside you're like that priest. Like, did I do that? Really?
I'm like, did I solve
Yeah, he literally solved
sleepiness?
like a cosmic mystery.
Like for me it was how to astral project. It wasn't
Oh,
or
that's
lucid
right.
dream or something. Lucid
Yeah,
dream.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But some people just use it as melatonin now.
I
So
just used it as melatonin, man. In addition, to be very clear, in addition to my melatonin, as like an enhancement to my melatonin.
well, okay, so in the third act, this priest finally has superpowers and he takes out 26 of the 30, which I would then think, okay, the next 4 are going to be easy breezy.
Yeah,
But
or I'd be like, I've done enough. Somebody
yeah,
else do this now because
I'd
I just
clock
did
out.
something awesome.
I'd be like, I need a vacation. The rest are on you.
Seriously.
I did like such
I did a
mass
huge
part
percentage of this.
Mhm.
Not that anyone knows what 26 out of 30% is, but I'm sure like it's a lot.
I mean, it's for over 5/6. I can do fractions.
I certainly can't do that either. So I'm just going to believe you on that. 5,
Okay.
6 feels like a lot.
I fully think that. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so he's like, holy shit, I did that. That's crazy. And then he goes over to Nicola, who still has Beelzebub in her. One of the 4 is still Beelzebub. And the priest is like, he didn't even say, how did I do that? Because I think he like wanted to have the cockiness of like, oh,
Of course,
Catholicism
you got to
works.
play along.
So, he was like totally freaking out on the inside, but he had to play it cool.
This old thing?
And basically he says, where did the others go? That's how he asked it. He was like, where did those 26 go when I just cast them out? Did I turn them into dust, or is this other priest's problem now somewhere else now?
Please, God.
And Beelzebub says, oh, I told them to go to Geneva. I said it last time. I'm going to say it again. This sounds like the campiest little drag queen demon I've ever heard of in my life.
Beelzebub-y, I'm telling you.
Attitude. Like, she's got the Cruella de Vil like long cigarette. She's like, I sent them to Geneva, darling. I sent them to Geneva.
Yes. What did I say? Geneva? Yes, sure, Geneva. Let's go with that. Just like couldn't care less.
Well, fun fact, Geneva apparently was a hub for Protestants at that time. So leave it to
hilarious.
Yeah. So just more PR.
Yeah, they're good.
The priest goes, how can I believe that they're actually gone? How do I know they're not just going to show up tomorrow? And Beelzebub, this is where I think maybe he had too much boxed wine and he is starting to not make a lot of sense. Everything else so far has made total sense.
Yeah.
He says, oh, we'll go. I'm just check the pine tree, darling. He has to say darling. Check the pine tree because now there's 2 branches missing. And that's the devils carried them away when they flew out. That's his reasoning.
2 branches missing off a pine tree.
Feels like a fucking escape room.
No, it does. And like not a good one. It's like, what does that even mean?
It doesn't prove anything. So like maybe like on her way into the exorcism that day, Nicola saw that there was like a broken tree outside.
2 branches fell off
and she remembered that shit.
Yeah. But so also she had to know that the branches were gone because if they fell on the ground.
Yeah, but my stepdad is one of those people where he's like, it's disgusting and criminal how observant he is.
Oh, so he can like clock it.
He would notice that a branch on a random ass tree is missing.
I think that is a stepdad thing. And my stepdad too is like, oh, one of your shingles. And I'm like, yeah, fuck, how do you notice that? Like, so, yeah.
Maybe Nicola was actually possessed by a stepdad. You know what I mean?
I mean, Beelzebub, it's anything's possible.
But yeah, so she's like, oh, well, there's 2 branches on that tree over there and they're missing. And so that's how you know that the demons are gone. And I'd be like, girl, we need to check you in somewhere. This is crazy.
What on earth are you talking about?
The priest then says, okay, can you also go now? Like, you're making me look bad. I only got 26 of you. So can you keep it moving?
Yep.
And Beelzebub says, this is apparently a quote. I can't wait. This is a direct quote.
A direct quote. Wow.
It's not in the Bible of something the demons have said, but apparently this is a direct quote. Even if you remain here till midnight, even if you stay here 100 years, I will not leave at your bidding. I will not leave unless commanded by the Bishop of Laon.
Okay, I love the escalation from midnight to 100 years. It was like, you can stay till midnight. And the guy was like, okay. And it's like, I mean 100 midnights. It's like in Austin Powers when he's like, $1 million. And they're like, okay. And he's like, I meant,
He's trying to build it up. So now they're like, oh shit. So now he's saying he won't leave until the Bishop of Laon specifically, not a bishop anywhere else, just this fucking bishop, casts him out. That's like apparently his prophecy. The bishop will cast him out.
Okay.
So they're in Laon, and along the way, one of the 4 demons, I guess the weakest of them all, his name was like Legio. Apparently he's cast out in the same way the others were, where the priest just keeps putting the sacrament to Nicola's lips.
He was just like holding on by a thread, and then he
I
died.
guess so.
Okay.
Maybe he was supposed to be the 27th and he overslept and he was like,
I think
I have to leave anyway.
It seems like a fluke the way you're describing it. Yeah.
Or maybe he like, I imagine if there's only 4 people possessing a body, those demons get to know each other really well in there. And he's probably like, this Beelzebub's kind of an asshole. I'm ready to leave. I'm just
Yeah, I get it. That's hard, especially when like suddenly it's just you 4 and it's like, oof.
It's really claustrophobic probably to just, you don't ever get alone time. They need to solo travel too. Demons
they need to go find a train car to live in for a few days.
And that's why Legio said, we're actually passing a train car. I'm going to hunker down over there. So bye. And left. So he was the least of the problems. Now there's like, only
look,
3.
A branch. I love branches. Stupid.
Well, there's only 3 left now. There's Beelzebub, then there's Cerberus, and Astaroth.
Mm.
Okay.
Harry Potter and fairy books, it feels.
So Nicola was brought to law. They hold exorcisms at the Cathedral Notre Dame de Laon.
Ooh.
And during these public events, Nicola / Beelzebub continued to mock the Protestants to the crowd and continue to call out people's sins and saying, like, why are you here and claiming you're not a sinner when I know you did this, this, and this last night? And then they would all run away and confess, so that way the demon didn't know that about them, or they just became Catholic altogether.
I have fantastic news for you.
What?
Okay, first of all, Astaroth, he's considered a great duke of hell.
Okay, me too.
Often depicted as, you too, a nude man with feathered wings, wearing a crown and holding a serpent and riding a beast with dragon-like wings and a serpent-like tail.
It's like Leona just came up with that. You know,
I like it. They're like, it's a naked man. Oh, but he also has this cool dragon. And it's like, wait a minute, what about the naked part? Is he not wearing a shirt?
It's just like you just said about the Dr. Evil part in Austin Powers.
Yes!
It's like, oh, you're not freaked out yet. Okay, well, he also is holding a snake.
In fact, I was freaked out when you said he was a nude man, but like, I guess
you had me at man. Why is a man here?
Right. Nude or otherwise. I'm sending you a drawing of what apparently he looks like from Wikipedia, and it's just.
Why do you need to send me a picture? I can perfectly picture a naked feathered man with a snake.
Fair. But apparently there's also a virus called Astaroth malware that like somebody made to like steal passwords and shit, which I love that they're naming them after literal demons. That's hilarious.
Yeah, the Trojan horse wasn't enough.
Yeah, exactly.
This, you know what's weird? So he and his little buddy he's flying on, they're both skeletally off.
Yeah, I feel like back then they didn't understand about proportions.
This guy, did you ever see Big Ed with the neck thing? Look up Big Ed. Just Google that.
Is that a horse? Oh, of course I know Big Ed from 90 Day Fiancé. What a character.
This guy also has no neck.
You know what? Yeah, but he's also nude and has long toenails, which
I didn't even notice the toenails.
It's distressing in the least. It's distressing in the least.
He looks like an asshole, so I guess they drew it pretty accurately.
He does. I think that actually probably is exactly what he fucking looks like. So, anyway, just so we have like some visual understanding.
Perf. Okay, well, thank you. I needed that for sure.
I know it was worth it.
So he's in there. Did you look up Cerberus?
No, I just think of that fucking dog.
Me too.
Okay.
Maybe it is. Maybe that's who it is.
Oh, it is. The Hound of Hades. Yeah.
How do they all have a gangster name? How are they all the Duke of Hell? The Hound of Hades.
The Hound of Hades. You're right. That feels very Zach Bagans, doesn't it? Like to come up with like your own devilish nickname.
I can tell you with confidence, even 500 years ago, no woman named him the Duke of Hell. He got burned by somebody and he went, this is who I am now.
Yeah. Who, me? You mean the devil's lackey? I don't know. I'm trying to come up with some other words.
Yeah, what would you be?
I would be Hades' handmaiden.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Except not really, because I don't want to be Hades' handmaiden. I don't know. I would work on it. I would do something for sure with what do you call it?
Alliteration.
Yes, thank you,
Well,
alliteration,
because we're not idiots.
Well, because
So
I'm not a fucking idiot, thank you.
if there's going to be one thing in my name, it's going to be
Hello? Like, if I
alliteration.
get one choice as a woman in the fucking 1600s, it's a cool-ass nickname.
The demon. No, I can't do it. The demon
No,
dame.
it'll
The
come
dame.
to
The
us.
daemon. No, that's stupid. Cut that out.
Listen, it's brainstorming. Why don't we say something really smart later, and then we'll have Jack put it right here, and it'll just be
Okay.
like, "Oh, that old thing." Yeah,
Okay,
that's
great.
good.
Okay, so now the bishop is here, right? Because
Right.
only he can cast out these remaining 3. The bishop goes up to him and says, "Hey, buddy, you want to tell me who all is in there?" Like, I imagine just like knocking on Nicola's forehead,
Hey, anybody in there?
like look like a whispering into the ear, "Hello."
Hello.
And
You
Beelzebub,
called?
Beelzebub, of course, says, "Oh yeah, there's 3 of us here. It's Beelzebub, Cerberus, and Astaroth."
That freak with the toenails left a while ago.
And Bishop asks Cerberus and Astaroth to step forward. He's like, Beelzebub's been a real chatty little bitch lately. So Cerberus and Astaroth, please step forward. And then Beelzebub shows up again and says, this is a direct quote, apparently. "They shall not. You may talk till you crack your throat. They will not speak in my presence. They are my servants. I am their master. They shall not speak. I am here for that."
Whoa, okay. Setting some strict rules here, bud.
I like that the bishop or that Beelzebub really has a possessive thing going on with
Yeah,
the, I mean,
wow.
he's
Power
literally
trip.
possessing a girl, but you would think
Literally.
but you would think
On
him
every
and,
level.
you would think him and the demons would be like kind of buddies, but whatever.
Yeah, well, apparently not, because apparently there's such a hierarchy, you know.
I know. So the next day, that was one day, he says, "Oh no, you're only going to speak to me. Thanks so much." So the next day, the church was ordered to open at 5 a.m. so that way people could come and start praying for Nicola before the exorcisms. But the church never opened at 5 a.m. because the clock tower stopped by itself or broke.
Oh, that's creepy.
And the devil later said that he had a part in that. But who knows? Maybe
Of
Nicola
course he
just
did,
noticed
right.
the clock tower was broken and said,
Yeah.
"That was me." So Beelzebub says, "Oh, by the way, just so you know, Astaroth will be leaving tomorrow." And the bishop goes, "Okay, thanks for letting me know." Feels like something a demon wouldn't do when you just
he
like
has travel plans tomorrow. It feels like, why would you share that with me? But
why?
okay.
Yeah, wouldn't you want to keep me on my toes? But okay, thanks for the mercy, I suppose.
Yeah.
How will we know it's happened?
Thanks for the heads up. Right.
How will we
yeah.
know? Because the last time was so fucking stupid with 2 broken branches. And now
Wait, for 26 of them.
Yeah. And also, hang on. Let me do the math there. So, does 1 branch equal 13 if
That's what
2
I'm saying.
branches took 26?
13 now.
I'm so smart. I told you I'm the math person here.
You are. I can't believe it. I just hear the word and I go, that's 13 is a devil number, right?
See, when you take my math and your Catholic guilt, we
oh
know
my God, we're unstoppable.
we're
You're
so
right.
good.
We're so good.
So, the bishop, if I were the bishop, I would have been like, some fucking stupid thing with branches happened last time. So how am I to know this time when
you're gonna pick a daisy on your way out? Like, what the fuck?
You gonna blow me a kiss? Yeah, what's gonna happen? Apparently, he said Astaroth will break away a pane of glass from the chapel. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's a big promise.
I feel like if you're a devil, like, wouldn't it be like the entire town will be engulfed in flames? Like, wouldn't it be something a little more dramatic?
Yeah,
Like,
but I feel like this maybe they can like accomplish, you know.
yeah, breaking a window. Yeah, for sure.
Like she can break a window. But yes, you're right. Like it should, I feel like, but also I feel like setting a fire you could do, you know.
I would also be nervous if I were Nicola faking all of this, and now I'm committing to plans because now I'm saying like, oh, tomorrow a window will break, and that's how you'll. So now, but I guess maybe if she didn't get to a broken window in time, she could be like, I tricked you, haha, it's not going to happen.
Why would you believe the devil? Yeah, fair point.
Well, so the bishop compels them all to leave. Try and leave one last time. Just try and leave. And all of a sudden, the demons start freaking out when he puts the sacrament to her mouth. She starts contorting. Her face gets all distorted. Her eyes bulge out again. There's apparently 3 distinct voices coming out of her. Like all 3 of the demons are
I hate
talking at
that.
once. Apparently each of them sounded like a different animal.
Ooh!
One sounded like an ox.
Oh
One
my
sounded
God.
like a swine, a pig.
Oh.
And one sounded like a dog. I'm assuming that one's Cerberus.
Oh, yeah, true.
And so the entire crowd is hearing multiple animal noises. She's freaking out. And when the bishop one more time holds the sacrament to Nicola, and everyone hears her do this big yell, and all of a sudden she falls into a swoon and black smoke comes out of her mouth.
No.
And with that black smoke leaving her body, Astaroth was cast out. And at the same time, everyone claims that they heard at the nearby chapel a window pane break.
Now this is good storytelling.
You know, with 500 years in the game of telephone on your side, anyone could have heard anything.
You're so right, you're so right. Someday we'll be so famous for being so smart because it'll just be like, oh, 500 years have passed. They forgot like the nuances of it, and we've just created this kind of lore about ourselves, and then over time it'll just kind of, that's what I'm telling myself anyway.
I certainly have manifested that our ancestors will listen to this one day and be like, oh my God, those are my great-grandparents. They were kind of like geniuses.
Our descendants.
Yeah.
My ancestors are listening to this and going, oh no, this is not what I hoped for my family line.
You got to wait a few generations before they're really proud,
right.
you know?
I think you're right.
Until we're like a bar story. Like, did you know?
Yeah. And it's like us telling it in 20 years and people are like, please stop.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so sad.
It is. It's a little bit sad.
So again, Nicola goes into one of these swoons. She's restored by the sacrament, and now she only has 2 living inside of her. She has Cerberus and she has Beelzebub. More exorcisms continue, and eventually during one of them, Beelzebub says, oh, P.S. I know I warned you last time. I'm going to warn you again. Cerberus is going to leave tomorrow.
Oh, right.
I don't know why he's like putting this on the calendar, but it's nice of him to do that.
Uh-huh.
So at the next day's exorcism, the bishop and Beelzebub are just chatting because they have a daily exorcism. So this is like a water cooler situation for them.
Oh, yeah. How'd you sleep last night? You know, did you try the continental breakfast?
And Beelzebub brings up that doctor who tried to poison him / Nicola.
Aha, yes.
The Protestant, the dirty Protestant. And he says, oh, don't worry, I got my revenge on that guy because he was actually riding the other day and I spooked his horse and I made the horse buck him and then kick him in the ribs. Which the actual story, if I remember the quote right, it's like he shrunk himself down to fit into the ear of the horse, made himself feel like a bug so the horse started bucking to get it out of his ear.
Basically magic school bus the fucking horse. Okay, I see. Or like, what's that other movie? It's basically like every kid's movie. No wonder she's coming up with all this shit.
It's like the end of Luck of the Irish when the bad demon shrinks down out of the clothes.
I've certainly never seen that, but I assume it's exactly like that.
Trust me.
Remember the one where he like goes in to fight germs?
Osmosis Jones?
Yeah.
Yes, it's just like that.
Although I guess it's more like I think the Magic School Bus reference hit harder, so
I think that one, you killed it with that one, yeah.
Thank you.
So Beelzebub misfrizzled himself into a horse's ear.
Did you see that TikTok where it's like the girls pretending like they're talking about the trauma of being on the Magic School Bus and like, and then I showed up and oh my God, it was very good.
Well, so he says, oh, don't worry, I showed that guy and he tried to poison me, but I spooked him. And then not only did I misfrizzle into the horse's ear, I also forced the horse to carry him around the gallows. He had to ride around the gallows multiple times, and he couldn't get off the horse. It was like he possessed the horse, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So people in town later confirmed that they actually did see the doctor talking to someone who wasn't there, and they did see him riding around the gallows. But then here's what I have to say. If that's what the townspeople are saying, that they saw him riding around the gallows, so did Nicola. So she could just be like, oh, I made him do that.
Right. Or even she heard people talking about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like at the very least, even if she didn't technically see it, which she
knew,
did, she
small
must
town.
have heard it. Yeah.
I mean, she's literally on a stage and in the audience is every person. She's probably just sitting there listening to small talk in between.
And pretending to be asleep. I'm the best at that game.
Yeah.
Pretending I'm not listening, but actually listening.
Pretend you're asleep and listen to all of the town people's
my favorite thing to do.
So anyway, he says, "Oh, I hurt the doctor and I got him back." And then he says, "I also appeared before him, by the way, and I told him I was a Protestant, and then I told him to kill Nicola, and that's why he tried to do it, because he was on the side of the Protestants."
Okay.
And just trying to like really damage that guy's reputation.
Yeah.
The bishop told Beelzebub to stop saying things like that, or else he was going to hit him. This
Uh-oh.
bishop has an anger problem, it seems. He
Yeah.
very quickly
Hit him? What, like hit her? I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, you're gonna hit a little 15-year-old girl, first of all.
Yeah.
Although if there is a true 15-year-old girl possessed in the room with me, I'd hit her in the fucking face for sure. If
if she comes at me, yeah, for sure.
if she really is, if I found myself in that situation where she was truly demonic, actually, I wouldn't even hit her because I wouldn't still be there. So,
Well, I mean, I was gonna say I don't think you'd be in a scenario where you'd be close enough to hit her. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But this bishop is like, stop saying mean things about the townspeople, or I'm gonna hit you. And he like just got here. Like the bishop just got requested, and now all of a sudden he's like it makes you really appreciate the patience of the last priest.
Yep. Agreed. Like this guy seems erratic, you know?
Yeah,
It's like
he gave up real quick on like
Yeah.
the actual proceedings. He says he's gonna hit him, and then Beelzebub / Nicola gets up in the bishop's face, like basically points at his own cheek and dares the bishop to hit him. And then the bishop instead makes a cross on the forehead of Nicola instead of hitting him.
Okay. Instead of hitting her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And by putting the cross on Nicola's forehead, Nicola begins to convulse. She then flies into the air and slams back onto the ground, and her face starts distorting. The bishop holds the sacrament to her face, and all of a sudden, like last time, a weird voice comes out of her, and then black smoke comes out of her mouth, and Cerberus has now been expelled, as predicted by Beelzebub. Predicted by Nicola, who's also probably getting tired of this shtick.
Yeah.
And so now we're down to just Beelzebub.
Okay.
So this is the final act.
Beelzebub. Final act.
So Beelzebub tells the bishop and the crowd, "Hey girl, I'm gonna leave tonight.
Yeah.
I'm also tired of this bullshit."
Yeah.
And Beelzebub temporarily flees away after that, but he says like, I'll be back later.
I'll be right back.
I'm hungry.
I ate a weird burrito for breakfast. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Well, in that in between, the bishop has dinner, and then he goes back to perform the nighttime exorcism.
Mm-hmm.
And Beelzebub says, "Haha, I tricked you. I'm actually not leaving today, and I was actually going to, but because you ate and didn't fast, then you can't give a proper Catholic exorcism."
Oh my God, it's like, this is literally what Catholic school's like. It's like, you can't win. Also, you're so confused. Also, they keep telling you to like eat things or not eat things. And it's like,
Yes.
Can everybody just leave me alone? I'm 8. Like,
Don't eat that, but eat this skin over here. That's
yeah, right,
really good.
exactly. Just drink the blood real quick. It's not a big deal. I know you're 8. It's normal.
So when the bishop pushes back, Beelzebub says the bishop didn't, not only are you didn't fast, but you also haven't properly confessed your sins, but also this, but also that, and also you don't have the right kind of witnesses for the final exorcism. Like every single time they try an exorcism, he goes, well, one more thing. So they can never catch him. He's so fucking annoying. I'm so tired of this story, Christine. So the bishop then says, maybe not today, but eventually I am going to cast you out by the power of God. And I guess in a moment of weakness, Beelzebub slips up and says, I must yield to you. I know full well that I must depart, but not tonight. So he's saying like, it's not up to me, but it is going to happen.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of Beelzebub finding loopholes. I will not bore anyone further with that.
Finding loopholes.
And eventually, one day, during yet another exorcism, Nicola starts levitating into the air and starts slamming onto the ground. And it had never been this intense
Extreme?
before.
Yeah.
Like she's like slamming onto the ground. 15 different men are trying to hold on to her and they can't keep her down. So this was
That's what I said. Did I say that?
Did you say it in theaters or how did you?
It sounded the same.
Okay.
I said it everywhere.
You have some green all over you. So this had never happened before. This was like a whole new level of power that Beelzebub was using, probably just to scare everybody or because it's like his last hurrah. And
Right.
the bishop is like, absolutely not. Takes the sacrament, raises it with his chalice, like toasting him, like, see ya.
Oh, I see.
And Nicola again is whisked into the air. And Beelzebub temporarily flees after this. Nicola is revived by the sacrament, but during the next exorcism, everyone's officially fucking over this, me included. And the bishop goes,
Really? I'm having the time of my life.
the bishop asks Beelzebub, get the fuck out. Tells him, get out. I'm so tired. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, you win. I don't want to play this game anymore. And so he says, when are you going to finally be cast out? Because you said tomorrow, like 50 fucking times. So when is it going to happen? And Beelzebub goes, soon, but not yet. And then
God,
the bishop is like, bro, fucking tell me.
Get a hobby.
So Beelzebub says, okay, 3 p.m. on Friday.
If you must know.
So he also likes an itinerary. So he literally says 3 p.m. on Friday. Great. The bishop says, how will we know you left? And Beelzebub says, well, I'll have cured Nicola's arm. She won't be paralyzed on her arm anymore.
Gasp.
And the bishop says, well, okay, are you still around all the time, or are you going other places in between possessing her? And Beelzebub says, actually, I was at your place last night, and I saw you praying at 3 a.m. And then he said, your prayers are starting to work.
Okay.
Which, like, are you mocking me? Or
would never say that. That's ridiculous.
Well, this sets off an already mad bishop, because I feel like it could be scary of like, oh, it's starting to work and affect me, and like the power of Christ compels me. But it could also just be him saying, haha, I'm kidding.
Like,
they're never going to fucking work.
Right. Yeah, it's totally working. Keep trying. Yeah, good point.
So this hot-headed bishop, as we know, he was already pissed. So he puts the sacrament to Nicola's face and to prevent Beelzebub from hurting her any further during this event. And I guess because he knows he's about to go off on Beelzebub, and he's like, I'm going to put a sacrament to her now to like almost like block off whatever you try to do in retaliation. But here's what I have to say to you, Beelzebub. And then literally tells him, you so offend God that you can never even hope for forgiveness. You don't deserve love or hope, only eternal damnation. I love that the meanest thing the bishop can say is nobody likes you.
Yeah, which honestly is pretty mean, but also, yeah, isn't that the point?
So during this, Beelzebub mocks the bishop. He blows out his ritual candles, so he has to keep relighting them, which is so annoying.
I like how you do a lighter, like as if they had Bic lighters back then. Like, were they rubbing sticks together? Okay, now I'm just being an asshole. Like, that would be a pain in
Actually,
the ass.
that does make it so much more annoying if you don't have fire at your fingertips. Like, what the hell are they doing? Like,
oil lamps and shit, but I don't know.
Well, but in that case, just blow out the oil, whatever. So he's mocking the bishop. He's blowing out the candles. The bishop holds the sacrament near him, and the bishop says, "What have you gained from this? Like, why are you doing this?" Beelzebub says, "Many have been converted by witnessing the great power of the sacrament."
Ooh, oh God. Okay, I thought you meant converted to like Satanism, not like ugh.
No,
God.
but that goes to prove apparently that he is, even though he is a powerful demon, he is still compelled by Christ to be used to bring people to Catholicism.
Right. Yeah, it proves that.
The bishop then says, "Why did you possess such a virtuous Catholic woman?" And Beelzebub says, "By permission of God, to show Protestants that devils can possess you whenever God permits. I have taken possession of Nicola to convert them and to harden them in their sins, and by the sacred blood I shall perform my task."
Whoa.
By the power of God and the sacred body and blood of Jesus, I confess that Jesus Christ is here and truly present. He is my Lord and Master. It tortures me to confess it, but I must.
Oh, come on. Likely story.
And then Beelzebub says that the sacrament only causes him pain so much, and it's the only thing that works so well because it is the true body and blood of Christ. I mean, like, it's just so on the nose at this point. It's not even they're not even hiding it.
It's almost like you get to the end of a movie and you're like, really? That's how they're going to wrap it up? Like,
yes.
I
it's
thought
like,
it
we
was
get it. You hate Protestants. Jesus
right.
Christ.
Like, I thought it was going to be some elevated thing, and then it's like, no.
Well, here's an uptick for you. Okay. Beelzebub then says, "I shall go, but I shall not go empty-handed. I shall take along with me the head of the bailiff."
Oh!
And the bailiff was the guy that remember for a while she was staying in a
Yeah, the
cell.
jail. Yeah.
Um,
First of all, leave that guy alone, okay?
well, apparently at one point he said something like he was a skeptic and he was like, if this is all real, then like the devil can have my head.
Oh gosh. Okay, never mind. He did kind of say something probably not good.
But he also like that is giving the same energy as like my mom said, may the devil take you. So like
Exactly.
how easy is this door to open? And
It doesn't feel right. Yeah.
well, apparently that was it for the bishop because now all of a sudden we're threatening the bailiff's head and maybe they were friends or something. So the bishop is
Uh-oh.
like, fuck that. And then says, this is a quote, "You wicked, unclean spirit, you arch enemy of God." The people in the hotel room next to me must think I'm so fucking crazy.
They're like, is our neighbor watching what is that televangelist, like old Billy Graham tapes?
I feel like the cleaning lady probably just like walked right past my door. It was like, never mind.
Skip.
"You wicked, unclean spirit, you arch enemy of God, behold the precious body and blood of our Lord Jesus Christ, thy Lord and Master. I command you to depart instantly and forever from this creature of God. Depart to the deepest depth of hell and be tormented forever." And when he said this, he put the sacrament to her lips, and Nicola starts writhing, and her limbs crack, and 15 men can barely hold her. And then her tongue hangs out, her face is swollen, she changes colors from yellow to green to gray to blue. And apparently this is a quote from the book I read, she no longer looked like a person, but a hideous incarnate demon. And her screams of pain sounded like a bull. So now we know which animal he was.
Yeah.
And for a moment, Beelzebub seems to have fully been cast out of Nicola.
Oh.
And she still seems like distorted and she's rolled up into a ball. And so the bishop says, okay, one last time, I'm going to put the sacrament to you and officially heal you. But then, Christine.
What?
Suddenly the demon returns, tries to grab the sacrament from the bishop's hand. There is a tug of war between the bishop and an invisible hand.
This is the fucking performance of his life.
And mine, fuck you.
And yours, I know. You have so many. This is just his one chance in his measly little 16th century life to be
for
just like
his eternal life. Yeah.
Yeah, he just like wants to put on a performance.
Oh,
and
the
I'm
bishop,
just,
yes.
Yes, I'm just happy for him for that. Like he gets to do the miming of like, no.
Yeah. I wonder if like backstage, him and Nicola finally came to an agreement of like, okay, I'm in the show, right? Like I get to
like,
be
come
in
on,
on
please.
this.
Let me just add a little pizzazz.
So he's having this tug of war by himself with this stupid fucking wafer.
Invisible demon, yep.
And Nicola levitates again, but the bishop holds the sacrament once more in his hand, and he tells the crowd to call upon God, of course.
Oh God, here we go.
And with the power of prayer, they hear a crash of thunder. And one source mentions here that this crack of thunder and the power of prayer coming from the mob, the mob, it becomes a mob, by the way. He's having this tug of war on stage. Meanwhile, in the crowds, everyone is so overwhelmed with the power of prayer. And the Protestants and the Catholics are now mad at each other because they're praying differently. And so now there's a fight in the streets amidst this battle.
No.
A literal fight. An army of God, if you will.
Oh, God.
And yet the bishop still held the sacrament and told the crowd that the true body of Jesus Christ will help us. And with that, Beelzebub finally was overcome by the power of the sacred body and was truly cast out. And it happened on a Friday at 3 p.m., which not only is what Beelzebub predicted, but it's also the same time that apparently Jesus died on the cross.
Oh, yeah, 3 p.m.
And Nicola woke up on her own. Her arm, after 3 months of being paralyzed, was completely healed. And not to mention, of course, on this day, many Protestants repented and turned to Catholicism, the true ways of Jesus Christ. And this story became known as the Miracle of Laon and helped reinforce so many anti-Protestant rhetorics in Catholic spaces, especially in France. And it actually also led to copycat cases in France where people were claiming possession, had multiple public exorcisms, said that it was Protestants' fault. For such a big story, my favorite part at the end of this is that nobody has no idea what happened to Nicola Aubry after this.
Wait, what? They just don't care anymore? They're like, she's now just a girl. We don't care.
Nobody wanted a fucking update, I guess.
Oh, come on.
Which makes me think she was never real. Or she ran away and hid forever because after the fame, it's time
the
to take a step
spotlight
back.
must have been just so bright.
I'm never telling that story again in my life, Christine. The end.
What if I'm like, tell me? What if on my deathbed I'm like, tell me the tale?
I go, okay, you can play episodes 1 through 3.
Yeah. Bye. I'm gonna go get lunch. That's wow.
I have to tell you, I have wondered in the past. I'm like, why don't I do more 3-parters? This is why.
This is why.
After 3 weeks, I don't want to talk about it
And I
anymore.
felt bad. I was kind of like, I was like, Em, I have an idea. Like the thing I'm covering, like you don't even have to worry. Like don't, like skip your notes. Don't worry. And Em was like, I can't skip my notes because
Especially after the hate you got for skipping your 2-parter.
I know. And to be fair, most people were very kind and like it's not a big deal. But there were just a few people being like, this is unprofessional. And everyone was like, they're not gonna last. They're not gonna last very long.
Well,
here.
I certainly wanted it to be over, especially like, not only did I not want to talk about something for 3 weeks, but Catholicism, babe? Really? No, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, same. How do you think I fucking feel over here? What a time.
Well, I'll tell you, I thank you everyone who stuck through that or just fast forwarded through my part. Now you're at Christine's part. And I have to tell you, you're about to have I think the best episode of your life.
Listen.
We didn't even have to record this week, and Christine said, let's record in our hotel rooms because I have to talk about it.
I can't wait any longer.
She couldn't hold it in. So without further ado.
I'm really delighted that Nutrafol is both a sponsor of And That's What I Drink and Beach Tea Sandy because I get to talk about my hair and it's just evolution over the years thanks to Nutrafol, and it's just really exciting to get to sit here as sort of like a model while you all kind of like look at me and go, wow.
I mean, I love that we work with Nutrafol because it means I get to look and talk about your hair.
Thank you so much.
See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
In a clinical study, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after taking Nutrafol Women Hair Growth Supplement for 6 months. I'm part of the 86%. I feel like it's probably higher. Maybe everyone else fell asleep. That is not as approved by Nutrafol. That was me just saying that.
They missed the survey because they're brushing their hair. It's also physician formulated with 100% drug-free ingredients, and Nutrafol supplements support visibly thicker, stronger hair, just like we said. It's all supplemented by targeting root causes of thinning, including stress, hormones, aging, nutrition, lifestyle, metabolism, as they evolve throughout your life.
Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code DRINK.
Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code DRINK. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code DRINK.
Well, we love mac and cheese. I think that's a silly thing to even say because obviously everyone knows that about us. But we do love mac and cheese. Leona loves mac and cheese. Now that GOODLES exist, I live happily in my little home with everyone just eating mac and cheese, and I feel good about life.
GOODLES line of mac and cheese has so many great flavors, including vegan and gluten-free options. So all the times that I had my as my grandpa would say, the dirty LA hippies, when they come over to my house, they wouldn't want to have mac and cheese because they're like, oh no, I'm vegan.
I can't eat
Guess
that.
What? They have vegan options.
Surprise!
So and suck on that, grandpa.
Nice try, grandpa. You silly meat eater. Plus, each serving has, get this, 14 grams of protein, so all the bodybuilders out there, don't even worry about it. 7 grams of fiber with prebiotics and 21 vitamins and minerals from real plant sources, so it feels nice.
Trust us, you need some GOODLES mac and cheese in your life, and don't forget their nutrient-packed pasta too. Pick up GOODLES on your next shopping trip. It's available nationwide at major grocery stores and retailers. We know you'll love GOODLES as much as we do. Oh God, what are we doing here? We're layering up. Oh my God, are you in a business suit? Did you bring a fucking business suit to Portland so you could do this to me? Are you in a jacket? What's happening? You're a reporter, I see.
We pardon the interruption of your regularly scheduled programming for an exclusive Ghost Adventures briefing. Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news this morning as the wife of Ghost Adventures star Aaron Goodwin was arrested in connection with an alleged murder-for-hire plot of her own husband. We take you now to the hotel room of Ghost Adventures mega fan Christine Schieffer. Christine, what can you tell us? Thanks, Christine.
Shut the fuck up. Are you doing your own interview with yourself? You're such an insane person.
Thanks, Christine.
My God.
Here's what we know so far. I'm here with M. Schultz, mega fan of Ghost Adventures. M, could you give us a little background? Tell us who Aaron Goodwin is.
This was a decision you made at 2 in the morning, for sure.
I did write a thing, and I said, but ask M also.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, ask me. I'm sorry. I actually didn't hear what you said because I'm still so fucking blown away at how insane you are. Okay.
Thanks, Christine. I'm here on the ground where the story is developing. I'm here with mega fan M. Schultz.
Uh-huh.
M, can you tell us what you know about Aaron Goodwin?
Why am I so nervous?
He's 48 years old.
Okay. I know that he is.
I wrote some facts.
He's the co-host of the hard-hitting docuseries from Zachary Alexander Bagans.
That's right.
Ghost Adventures, where he is often the punching bag to Zach Bagans. He is the comedy fodder, where he gets thrown into.
He's just like bullied
situations.
Yeah,
he's constantly bullied. And what I will say, because in case anyone's wondering, obviously we're talking about the situation of the week, but I know nothing. So when I tell you all I know about him is that he's the co-host of Ghost Adventures, I really mean it. I did not look this up so you could tell me everything.
I'm so delighted. Okay, let me tell you. So let's get into it, folks. I'm not going to read the whole fucking story like that, I promise. I did write it in my capital letter teleprompter style that I used to write in journalism school.
You literally can't. People would die for that. So
I didn't write the rest in maybe I should have asked like Chat GPT to rewrite it in teleprompter font, but I just did not have the time because there's so much. Okay, listen, Em, I'm going to get through this. It's not super long, but it's crazy. You guys, I don't know if you've heard this. There's been breaking news on the Ghost Adventures front. I'm not even kidding. It's not season number 78 or something coming out. It's
if you listen to the show, you know what this news break is.
I hope. So essentially, Aaron Goodwin, people keep saying the star of Ghost Adventures. I'm like, he's a star, not the star of Ghost Adventures. Like, I want to be clear. That's Zach's.
Is co-star fair?
Co-star is probably fair. Well, you ask Zach. Zach probably would have very strict, like, assistant to the regional manager vibes, you know? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that he's even a co-star. He's like a code to the star. I don't know. But either way, so Aaron, he's this like doofy guy. He's always getting mocked on the show. He's kind of like, the joke is like, oh, Aaron, go in this dark basement. And then he like slams the door. It's kind of like what we did to Eva a little bit on our ghost hunts. Like, leave her in a basement with a recording device. Like, it's sort of the same vibe. But they're good friends. They're like really old friends. They met decades ago. And so Aaron, he and Victoria, his wife, got together in 2018. They got engaged in 2019, and they got married in August 2022 at Disneyland's Haunted Mansion.
Oh, that's fun.
Very beautiful wedding, very Disney, not totally my style, but like they looked gorgeous. She had this big princess dress, you know, the whole 9 yards.
I feel like she's a Disney adult, and like their compromise for a wedding.
I found it on Reddit.
Okay, great. Well, that makes total sense, because if they were like, how do we combine our interests since like Disney
Haunted
and ghosts? Okay.
I mean, it's. I was like, what A+ on the planning there. And so to outsiders and insiders, because Aaron himself didn't realize, their relationship seemed really strong. Like there didn't seem to be any issues. In fact, they often posted about each other. Victoria posted about their adventures. Aaron was always talking about how much he loved her. On Valentine's Day this year, they both posted about each other, and he said, "My Valentine always beats me at mini golf." So they're just like doing this whole romantic thing.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously he did not know what was going on in the way that
behind the scenes. Yeah.
But also, like, do we have Miss Reporter? I'm now the one in the audience, and you're on the podium, and I'm
absolutely
shooting
at the
my
press
shot.
Conference.
Yes.
All right. I'll say, and that's what you drink. Go ahead.
Oh, I forgot my question. Oh
my God. Security.
Did we hear anything from like anyone that knew them to say like, yeah, we thought the relationship was kind of fucking crazy? No,
I mean, maybe that'll come out, but at least, and I will say, like, I don't think anyone from her side is speaking right now, but as far as we know from like the folks in his immediate circle, everyone
thought they were fine.
Seemed completely blindsided. The word they used was blindsided.
Okay.
So here's what happened timeline wise. And I also used a ton of sources for this to just find every detail I could. So I will include that in the show notes, but I'm not going to mention where every fact came from. But on March 6th, 2025. So, what is today? The 18th. So 2 weeks ago. Approx. March 6th, 2025, Aaron was shooting a lockdown investigation with Ghost Adventures
Mhm.
when he received a call from the police to inform him that his wife, Victoria, had been arrested in connection with solicitation to commit murder and conspiracy to commit murder of him.
And okay, so I can't wait for that tape to come out eventually.
Oh,
Uh,
the phone call?
because I feel like at first they must have said like, "Oh yeah, she was arrested for
Like, yeah, and you'd be like, "For what? What happened?" Yeah.
yeah," and he'd be like, "That's not her. You got the wrong girl. Like that wouldn't be what happened." And then they have to break it to him like she was trying to get you, dude. You know?
God. Okay, get ready for this, Em. You're gonna love this. Quote, this is from Daily Mail. The moment took place on camera, but reportedly will not be shown on the next season of the show, which currently airs on the Discovery Channel. Goodwin's co-star Zach Bagans has creative control when it comes to the series. No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Insiders told the outlet and has plans to speak to the network before a decision is officially made on whether to include the call during a future episode.
I love that he has creative control and Aaron has no control
No
of his own
say.
fucking life.
And then Zach's like, I'll talk to the producers. Like, won't you
Talk to Aaron? And also,
but like, it would go so hand in hand with all the shit that he's done to this poor guy.
okay, so I was actively trying not to interrupt because what I wanted to say earlier.
Oh, please
was
do. This is an open panel now. Open
like,
panel discussion.
You know that when they got a call and it was from the police, you know,
cameras on, rolling.
Before like that we ever got any information, as soon as they thought the police was calling Aaron, I can already hear what he was planning to say in the future ADR.
Completely.
Is this connected to the evil darkness of this house that
of
the
Bobby
police
Mackey's, which apparently caused Aaron's first divorce?
Yes, exactly. Like the way that he was already writing lines of how he was going to say it over that B-roll.
It's a
for
plot
sure.
point. Like, and to an extent I get it, but not to the fucking attempted murder of your co-host by their own spouse. Like, that gets a little too far for me.
I mean, how do you even... Okay, so here's another question that obviously...
Well, you were like, oh man, I wish I could see that clip. And I'm like, you fucking might. We all might.
The fact that it exists, I mean, of course it would be caught on camera, like something like that. But, I mean, which might get used, like, in court or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's all in, like, green and black and night vision.
Oh my God, it's an infrared camera. And you see Zach going, what is it? What is it? Put it on speaker, Aaron. Put it on speaker. Bro. Bro, we're trying to film here. Turn off the
phone. But my next question is like, first of all, where were they investigating? Second of all,
we don't know because it's under wraps where they were. But I will tell you where they were investigating when I will tell you more details about the actual attempted hit. Okay. I do know is that they were on lockdown also when he received the call.
Okay. My next question is like, because we've done enough of these where like, if you have to pay a certain amount to get in and all this stuff.
Right.
I'm like, do you keep ghost hunting after that now that you've already paid the down payment, or did they cancel it? Because Zach would make him, right?
But Zach took our hotel room the night before with like 10 grand, 15 grand or whatever. Like, to him, I'm like, I don't think he even cares. Like, I feel like he has the money to just be like, whatever.
Do you think Zach made him keep ghost hunting, or do you think they shut it down for the day?
Oh, I'm assuming they shut it down because I think
so.
I think he had to go into like some sort of...
Certainly Aaron wasn't in the right headspace.
No, certainly not. I assume he, anyway, but what I believe they were in Barstow, California. At least that is when the plot was sort of starting to get going. So who knows whether the hell Zach is going to put this on the show? Just kidding. We know he totally is. Zero doubt in my mind whatsoever. So he gets his call and they're on a lockdown investigation. Unknown to Aaron, Victoria had been secretly exchanging romantic messages with an inmate in federal prison named Grant Amato since May of 2024. So she was basically having a pen pal affair with this guy in prison.
For almost a year.
For almost a year, yes. So Amato, I just want to do like a side tangent about who this guy is because nobody really talked about it in depth. And I saw triple murderer Grant Amato and I went, what the F? And then I saw another like blurb that said, imprisoned or, sentenced to however long to life in prison for murdering his family. And I'm like, what? So, okay, I did a little dig into who this guy is, and it's like a mini crime story inside this crime story.
Mhm.
So this guy, Grant Amato, he was serving time in a Florida prison for the 2019 murders of his own family. According to Us Weekly, he and Victoria allegedly became pen pals after she saw his story in the 2024, you can't make this shit up, Paramount Plus true crime documentary Control Alt Desire.
Which now everyone's watching, I'm sure.
Big time.
Yeah.
Biggest hit
That
that
just
that Paramount Plus has had in
Paramount Plus is
months.
like, "Thank you." Yeah. For
Thanks.
the shout out.
But yeah, apparently she watched an episode. Imagine watching a true crime episode. Do it every day. I do it every day. Imagine watching one about somebody killing his family and going, now that's a hottie, you know?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, did she reach out to him because she thought he was hot?
She just saw him and was like into him. Yeah.
That's so like, so that makes
I
me
mean, I
think,
haven't seen
like
the episode. I'll watch it and see if there's anything like particularly engaging about this guy. But the fact that he murdered his family feels a little bit already like a red flag to me. No, no big
yeah.
deal.
So if nobody, so not at all, not blaming Aaron, let's be clear. But I'm like, so was there already like like marital issues or something for her
So
to just
she
like
claims
so
there are,
flippantly? Okay. So I was like, how would you go from
but they got
totally
married
happy?
a few months earlier. So it's not like this
Hmm.
has been years of like dissatisfaction, right? Like they met in 2018, got married in 2022, and now this is happening in 2024. It's not months, sorry, 2 years later, which like I'm not saying you can't be unhappy. I'm saying like jumping from getting married in 2022 to like trying to murder somebody.
Well, or also like even just being like getting married and being truly happy to like and not doing anything unfaithful to just, oh, I'm going to talk to this guy because
Yeah.
like that
Because I saw
something's
him on a
off.
crime documentary. It wasn't even like an accidental bumping into each other. It wasn't like, oh, an old flame reached out. It's like she saw it and actively pursued him, which I just am like, what in the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, what was it about him, or what was going on behind the scenes with her that we don't know about?
Well, let me
That's
tell you
wild.
his story because I want to be so clear on what this guy's fucking past is because there is zero understanding on my part of like why she was so into this guy.
Okay.
But the episode follows the investigation of this guy, Grant Amato. He was accused of killing his parents and his brother because they banned him from talking to a cam model named Sylvie.
Okay, so short fuse. He's got like
Thank you.
it took nothing for him to want
Well,
to kill.
not nothing. Earlier that year, Amato's family was found at their home in Chuluota, Florida. I hope I'm saying that right. Chulota, Florida. The scene was allegedly staged as a murder suicide that appeared to frame his deceased brother. Amato fled the residence. A 24 manhunt ensued after investigators noticed his
Oof.
vehicle was missing. Once he was tracked down and brought in for questioning, he claimed to have no idea what happened to his parents and brother. However, investigators found that one of the family's credit cards was used to purchase $600 of tokens to talk to this cam girl named Sylvie. Now, why did Grant Amato's family ban him from talking to Sylvie? Well, let me tell you. Amato had developed personal feelings for Sylvie, the cam girl, and paid to talk to her on a consistent basis. He did not have a job at the time, but he allegedly stole $200,000 from his brother and father to talk to
Oh,
Sylvie online.
okay.
So after they realized he had taken this 200 grand for this, they realized he needed help. So they sent him to a rehab facility. Once he returned from treatment, his family gave him an ultimatum. If he was going to keep living at their home, he had to get a job, go to therapy, and pay for his own phone and cam girl
Sure.
credits.
Sure.
Instead of following the request, he stole his mother's phone to contact Sylvie, and the family kicked him out, and then he came and murdered them all.
So did he do it? Do we think he did it in the name of love and like, don't tell me I can't talk to this woman, or was it the just he didn't like being told what
You
to
know, I
do?
don't know. I don't know. I'm going to watch the episode later, and hopefully I'll have like a better idea because all I know is the kind of facts of it. I don't really know what the
Yeah, and where's the cam model now? Like, did she have anything to say about
I don't know. I don't know.
that's
That's a really good point because this
yeah.
was also like a totally separate article. Like I couldn't find this anywhere in the story of Aaron and Victoria.
Yeah.
But so to like come back to the story, Victoria was exchanging messages, like romantic, like she saw the story about him and went, well, that guy's for me. I mean, maybe she thought like he would send her money. Like I don't know. I don't know
And
what the
also, like, oh, I see. Well, also,
he
like,
doesn't have any.
I also wonder for a year, like, so she had to know it was shady from the very beginning because unless Aaron saw letters from prison coming to
So
the
they
house.
were texts. They called it a pen pals, but they were just texting.
Oh, okay. I see.
I mean, I assume there was a way they pen pal. I assume at the beginning you're probably right. They probably did pen pal because you can't just like text someone without knowing how to
Mhm.
contact them. But then she sent him a phone, gave
Uh-huh.
him money for a phone,
I
and
see.
that's how they started communicating from then on.
You can just get a phone in jail?
I mean, not legally,
Sure.
but
Okay.
yeah. And actually, that's how it ends up coming out because they seized his phone and said, "What the
I
fuck is
see.
this?"
I
So
see.
yeah. So essentially, they started this romantic tete-a-tete. She used the alias Victoria Candy with an IE. It felt like she was trying to be cam model. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but she called herself Victoria Candy, and according to the police report, they wrote about how much they are in love. But pretty soon, the conversations turned dark because she wanted a way out of her marriage, and she said FH didn't want a divorce. Now, I was confused by this because FH in like wedding lingo and stuff, and her being a Disney adult in cruise ships in Disney like jargon, DH means dear husband and FH means future husband. So I was like,
Hmm.
why are you calling him future husband and he doesn't want a divorce? Like you're already married. I didn't totally understand that.
Was that done multiple times? Because D and F are next to each other on a QWERTY keyboard. Maybe she just said the wrong
Oh,
one.
maybe. Although they were texting, so I don't
Oh, you're right.
know. I don't know.
Hmm. Maybe first husband? I don't know.
FH, yeah. So maybe it meant something else, but her being a Disney adult and all, it was like she probably knows what FH means, like future husband. Maybe she called him that for years. Oh, that was the other thing. Their wedding was delayed by several years because of COVID. So maybe she just got used to, how people say like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
fiance, but maybe she just got used to saying future husband and like
Sure.
didn't switch it. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but essentially what she was saying is that her husband wants a divorce or does not want a divorce. So she needs to find, and I don't know that that's true or not. That's just what she told the guy allegedly. And she apparently, this is how she initiated the criminal part of their conversation. So Victoria allegedly told Grant Amato she wanted her husband dead and began setting aside money for a hitman, a total of $11,515, with a
Wow.
down payment of $2,500. And she did pay that $2,500.
Wow.
Police cited, and that is apparently how he got the phone.
So sorry, maybe you already said this, but if not, um, so is he getting out of jail? Like it sounds like she's asking someone who's already in jail and can't get to him to kill
So
him.
he's gonna contact the hitman for her.
I see. Okay, gotcha.
Mhm, mhm. Because yes, like, right, he's in prison, so
I was
but
like,
he has
idiot.
connections. I know. He has connections, okay? So she sends him this $2,500 down payment, so she's serious about this, like,
Hmm.
she's not fucking around. Police cited text records in which Victoria texted Amato, quote, "Am I a bad person? Because I chose to end his existence, not divorce."
Yes.
Girl, yeah. Girl, yeah, you are. Not the divorce thing. Like,
Uh,
yeah, I know what you mean.
was she? Did she mean that? Am I a bad person?
I think she wanted him to be like, "No, honey, we're just in love." I have no idea. Am I a bad person? Yeah, girl.
Yeah. What the
Yeah, no
fuck?
shit.
Like that. I mean, I can't really say in hindsight because I'm learning all this at the same time. But the quickness that she just went into, like, she just saw a big ass murderer on TV and then
Yeah.
immediately went into writing. Like there is a disconnect. So when
Also,
she
do
says
you
things
think that
like
there are
that,
other people she's reached out to?
that
There
can't have
have
been
to
her
be,
first. That
right?
can't be her first.
Like, what are the odds that this is the only person she reached out to and it like blossomed into this thing? I mean, maybe, but I would put money on
I
she's watched these
she
shows and reached out to people before. Because to do this so easily without any
Yeah.
issues, like you must know how to. I don't know how to reach out to someone in prison. I mean, I could figure it
No.
out, I guess, but it seems like there's something going on.
Yeah, I don't think it was her. I think it was the first person that like wrote back to her or that she like
That it
maybe had interest
right.
in or like it had
That's the
run its
vibe
course.
I get, but like
But
to be clear, it's just a vibe.
but for her to to have those like impulsive,
Mhm.
irrational, like to behave that way. Now looking at like what happens later, like it doesn't surprise me when she says, "Am I a bad person?" I think something's like off. I think there's
Yeah,
like
I
for her to,
wouldn't
she's not
be
getting it.
surprised. I'm curious when the trial begins. March 25th, by the way, everybody, coming up
Yeah.
1 week from today, allegedly. We'll see what happens. But
Speedy trial, damn.
I know that's what I said. I mean, that's probably when they determine. Well, okay, we'll get to it. So, as for the timeline, now this is pretty wild. This is where I had to kind of go digging for like all the pieces because it was really
God bless you.
confusing. You what?
God bless you, Christy.
Oh, thank you. What can I say? I have some helpful hobbies that sometimes relate to our podcast. So, as for the timeline, this is what we know. Allegedly, October 2nd of 2024, Victoria Candy sends Amato the location in Barstow, California, where Aaron was filming Ghost Adventures. So this is October 2nd of last year.
Hmm.
Plus, sent a picture, which is very fucked up, that Aaron had sent her of him with the crew or with his buddies or like at the ghost town. There's a ghost town near Barstow, and apparently she sent Amato this picture to be like, this is what he looks like, and then sent the location and the hotel where he was staying while filming in
So,
Barstow.
so in theory, like, I mean, I know they weren't the actual, he wasn't the actual target, but like Zach could have also been hurt
Yes.
because there's a picture of all of them and where they're staying.
I don't know who all was in the picture. I do know that he was on set with the crew and she sent a picture of Aaron.
But see, that's another thing.
You're right. I don't know who else was in the picture. I don't know if it was like the whole crew. I don't know
But
if it was.
that's another thing though of the like that something's off about like you would do this on set with a bunch of other witnesses and like people around. Like it like something's not that I know how to like commit
My
a
guess is
murder.
like because he's traveling, so she's like, "Oh, I won't be connected to it because I'll be at
Sure.
home." But like,
But
still, you're
like there's
right.
still so many people who like when you're on set and you're filming a TV show, like people know every minute where you are.
Okay,
Someone's
so
gonna find out immediately.
but I think they were going for the hotel. So they knew the town, they knew where he was, they knew he was filming, etc. And I think their goal was to catch him alone in the hotel.
Like after they wrap for the day.
Yeah,
Okay.
like wherever they were staying. Because, well, here we go. Amato responded. So she sends this information. Amato responds that he'll be in contact with someone, quote, who will be taking care of the situation.
Mm.
According to the police report, the two also discussed the 11 grand that Victoria had set aside for, quote, when the job is finished. This is from the official police report. The next day, on October 3rd, according to police, Grant Amato allegedly texted the hired hitman, who we believe is the hired hitman, quote, he's asleep right now in his hotel room. I need to know what's going on. Can I get an update? Was it done? Later that day, his phone was seized and communication stopped.
Wow.
And it took from then until March 4th for them to analyze the phone and realize there was like a hitman plot on the phone.
Shit.
So they just seized the phone and she's probably sitting there like, I haven't heard from him.
She
Like,
also must have been like, yeah, well, I guess so from October to March, so that's like 6 months that she's married to him and seeing him all the time and like hoping she's not busted.
okay,
I
so
mean,
this is why I need you later to go through her Instagram. She posted like lovey-dovey posts all leading up to March, like between October and March. There was one, I think, like within, I'll probably get to it, but within a few days, she was posting like, I love it. And I'm like, I wonder if it was in reaction to like, uh-oh, I could get in
yeah,
trouble, you know?
yeah.
Or if it was just their norm. But like even Valentine's Day, they were all lovey-dovey. Um, just wild. So it wasn't until March 4th, so she must have just been pooping her pants every day.
Mhm. Every day.
It wasn't until March 4th that the phone was fully analyzed and authorities were told about the alleged murder plot. So 2 days later, on March 6th, Victoria was arrested.
Do you think
Sor
she thought, sorry, I know we were just talking
No,
about
no,
this,
go
but
go ahead.
do you think in those 6 months she ever thought she was busted, or do you think like, oh, he just lost his phone?
I think
Like,
she started to feel I don't know. I don't know if he ever called her. I have no idea. My like, if she didn't know that the phone was taken, yeah, I guess you could probably just be nervous, but write it off as like, "Oh, he, like, duped me," or, like, yeah,
Mm.
his phone got stolen, but it's fine, or it broke or whatever. My guess is somehow they touched base, I would imagine, but if that's the case and he's like, "Hey, guards took my phone," I imagine those 6 months were so high stress for
Yeah.
her.
Oh my god, yeah. Because 'Cause it'd be one thing if he just, like, never if she never heard from him again in those 6 months and be like, "Oh, he broke up with me," or, "It was
Yeah.
too scary."
And
Yeah.
imagine, like, in January, I feel like you'd be like, "Okay, maybe I'm in the clear because 'cause it's been 3 months and nobody
Yeah.
said anything." So, like, I imagine that was almost more shocking, like, "Okay, it's been months and months, like, nobody said anything, surely they would have looked at the text by now."
I can't even
The
imagine a
wheels of
world where
justice move slow, my friend. Give it 6 months and they'll check the texts, you know?
so, sorry, I keep interrupting you, please
No,
go.
please, that's what I wanted. Because I just am, like, blabbing all this at you, but basically, it took till March 4th for them to, like, report this to the police, after analyzing the phone. 2 days later, March 6th, Victoria was arrested. That's when they called Aaron while he was filming somewhere else, I assume, and said, "Hey, your wife's been arrested for the attempted murder of you."
I would
So,
still be in denial for, like, at least a full day. I'd be like, "You this is
big
obviously"
time.
like,
I'd be
I
like,
would
"Is Zach pranking me? Like, is
yeah,
this a
yeah.
prank from Zach? Seriously?"
Well, I would have been like first of all, it would be hard for me to even get over the she was texting another guy.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's true.
Like, I wouldn't even be able to process that in a day that, like, she
Right.
was like, "You think she's cheating on me, but we're so happy together." Let alone
Let
she
alone
saved money, she put down a deposit, she paid also, like, we talk about it all the time, but, like, to find for people who find out that they were on a hit list or something like
Mhm.
that, to find out their price and, like, it was, like, 12,000, and
Woof.
I wonder if he had a thought about that, about, like, well, where was that my money? Like, not that that's, like, the biggest concern, but, like, where'd the money even come from? How was she saving
And
it
it's
without him
like she was
knowing?
like,
And
"Oh, I'll kill him for kill him for 11,000, that's enough." It's like, ugh, God, the
yeah,
whole thing
they
is
they
just
literally paid
sick.
15,000 to steal a Queen Mary room from us, I
I
think.
know. Come
Allegedly.
on. Allegedly. Allegedly, thank you. So, sources told TMZ that Aaron was blindsided and devastated at this turn of events involving his wife, as he thought he was in a happy marriage. So, up until Victoria's arrest, he believed their marriage was solid. Just 1 week before the arrest, so end of February, Victoria had posted a photo of their like legs intertwined and their cat on top of their laps, and it said "cuddle puddle with my boys." So she was like full on playing the loving wife, you know?
I can't imagine, and, in 6 months, they must have at least, like, kissed or hugged once, and for like, I would feel if I were Aaron I feel so bad for Aaron. I can't imagine
It's
knowing,
horrible.
like, I just hugged someone who, for the last 6 months, I've been
Oh yeah, I
overdue
mean
to
they were on the
die.
couch like cuddling, you know? Like they were clearly still very intimate. According to ET, Goodwin was reportedly shattered, and the same source said that he was getting love and support from his Ghost Adventures team. I will say it was really awkward at the end of this Entertainment Tonight like clip that, that I watched because they were like breaking news, you know, and it's all dramatic, and then they shoehorn this clip at the end of the host from like years ago interviewing Aaron on set, and it says like, "As for the safety or security on set, here's what Aaron told me in a past interview." And Aaron's like, "So what a lockdown is it means that homeless people can't break in while we're filming." And it's like, "Oh god." Oh god.
Could have not used that.
Could have not shoved that clip into the end, but I was like, that seems totally irrelevant, except that the guy in the clip was the one hosting the Entertainment Tonight voiceover." It was just strange. I was like, I don't okay.
I guess
Yeah.
there's, like, only so many clips of Aaron not in night vision,
Right, and not being
and not
overshadowed by
scared,
Zach.
yeah. Um,
He so if this helps kinda give an idea, he has since after how shocking this must have been, he has since obtained a court order to have her stay away from him, prevent any form of contact for 3 months, and since then, I'll get to it in a little bit, but he has also filed for divorce, thankfully,
uh
so he's not in, like, denial about this or anything.
I mean, we've always felt bad for Aaron in different ways,
Yes!
but in this way, like, I can't imagine. I mean, first of all, the shattering feeling of being cheated on, the shattering feeling of being cheated on with someone in true crime when you are in true crime paranormal spaces,
Yes, true.
the shattering of um not only that, but she ever wanted to break up with you, that she ever wanted, and like, it didn't
That she
matter that you
wasn't
would be
happy this whole time,
that she
and you
wasn't
were?
happy, and like, and not only I can't even touch the "she wanted me dead,"
Right.
or
That
like
goes
or
above.
she I mean, it feels almost like a the flip side or like a woman's side of like a family annihilator where it's
Yeah.
like, "It's not that I want you dead, I just don't wanna be with you, but I'm too ashamed to ask for a divorce," or something.
Right,
That's
because he didn't like, she said he doesn't want a divorce, but I'm like, as far as we know, he didn't even know there were any issues. I will say, of course, that's all, like, now hearsay. I don't
sure.
know the real story, but, as far as from his perspective, but as far as I can tell, they were posting, like, for example, literally after she had tried to have him killed, so after this October thing where she's put money down and blah, 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 they posted this YouTube video and it's called the Kualoa Ranch Tour with the Goodwins. And it's basically it's on November 18th they posted it of last year, and this is about a month after or a month or two after all this happened. So in the video, they're seen touring this ranch in Honolulu County, Hawaii. They're in good spirits. They're on this Jurassic theme. They're like vlogging basically.
Mhm.
They're on this Jurassic Park themed tour. Um, Apparently at one point Aaron walks through the large like jaws of a dinosaur and is like, "It's eating me," like being Aaron, you know? So it's
Mhm.
like very weird to see them kind of playing off each other. And I mean, I don't know if you've seen photos of them together, but they are just like so lovey-dovey, like just like
Mm.
it's really shocking. I mean, from an outsider
And you know
perspective.
what's extra painful too is that she was probably so stressed about maybe being busted and
Mhm.
wanting to, like, make sure she had some sorta alibi
Mhm.
testifying that she was in love with him, that she was probably
Overdoing it.
overcorrecting,
That's
and
right.
for the last 6 months, he probably felt the happiest they'd ever been.
And
And
you fucking nailed exactly what was disturbing me. I was like, "Why the last 6 months has it been so crazy?" Oh, I see. Like, why has it been such a romantic whirlwind? Oh, I see.
like, we're falling in love all over again or something. On top of that, I can't imagine the crushing feeling of the paranoia for the rest of my life of, like, I just blissfully
Yeah, like, what is even
went
real?
6 well, I just went around for 6 months and I was every day, like, I'm supposed to be dead, like, what does that mean
Oof.
for, like, tomorrow? Is there someone else that's supposed to hurt
Oh,
me?
I
And I'm
see,
just like
yeah.
I would be constantly nervous that, like, did I just evade death when it was supposed to happen? Did I just evade death here? Like, was I supposed to survive that? Like, I would just be every day I would be so fucking stressed about, like, is something planned for to hurt me?
Yeah, like, what if that guy still has that hitman ready to go? Who knows who that hitman was, you
Yeah.
know? Also,
Oh
the
my god.
idea of, like, the next person you meet and they're like, "I love you," and it's like, "But do you?" Like, how would
Yeah.
you ever trust anybody, you know?
Yeah, I got a feeling he's never gonna marry again.
That's just
There's
rough times. It makes me yeah, it's just really unsettling. Um, so as of last night, when I was finishing checking any final updates, Victoria Goodwin is being held on $100,000 bail pending her trial with a preliminary hearing. So it's just a preliminary hearing set for March 25th, 2025. I assume we'll get more information. That's a week from today, but as this comes out, it's probably like pretty on time.
do you think they've talked since? Do you think, like, he got that phone call from the police? I mean, I'm sure they were advised, like, "Don't talk to her." But, like, how awkward he wants to be at that preliminary hearing, and he's the last time he saw her, they were in love, and now it's, like, on trial for trying to kill
He
me.
was like sending her pictures of him at the thing, and she was like, "Oh, let me forward these to the hitman." You know, it's just like, how do you even process that? Yeah, so I don't know if they've spoken. I don't think so because he pretty immediately put up like a 3-month non-contact, no contact order. Um, so as for okay, here's Victoria's defense that I'm sure she's hoping Aaron will
But she's
believe.
not a bad person because
Right,
she
exactly. Although she wasn't sure. Remember, she was just asking. She didn't. She never found out yes or no. So she claimed this was all just a fantasy. She was just daydreaming about being free from Aaron and never meant to go through with it. But financial transactions and detailed plans contradict her claims. That's all we know. But police said, no, no, she's lying. So I think
Mm.
Aaron had no choice but to be like, fuck, this is real. She did admit to sending Amato that $2,500 deposit, but she said she just thought it was for cell phones.
Which is you're still going to jail, babe, because
Yeah, what do you mean cell phones? Yeah, yeah,
you're
like
giving inmates phones.
I mean, it's for 2,500. What kind of fucking Samsung Galaxy nonsense are you buying?
Good luck to
Uh,
any lawyers who have to, like
Literally.
operate against text messages that tell exactly what you want
Yikes.
done. Like,
Yikes.
I am curious what the actual
I did too.
text message is that says, "I want a hit." Like, what was that conversation? Because
I'm
at
gonna
some point
follow
it had
this
to be
so
said.
thoroughly. I'm gonna read every court transcript, I swear to God.
At some point it had to be said the words, "Can you kill him?" or "How do we do it?" or
Like,
"I want
who's
him
gonna
out of here."
all the things that have been said are so, such, like, hitman tropes, like, "I'll take care of it," or "I'll contact someone who can take care of it," and it's like,
Ugh.
for when the situation or when the job is finished,
Oh
all
my
that kinda
god.
terminology. So, yeah, I wonder when the actual request like, how she pivoted
Yeah.
into yeah. Um, so authorities say Victoria was already making efforts to arrange for Amato to have Aaron murdered while he was on location working. And that I think is going to be the way that they pitch it at trial. Just 6 days after Victoria's arrest, Aaron filed for divorce. And here's what the filing stated. Our views, tastes, likes, and dislikes have become incompatible to the extent that it has become impossible for us to live together as husband and wife in marital harmony. He further added, there is no possibility of reconciliation between husband and wife.
That's wild that they're getting divorced for irreconcilable differences. Not
Yeah. Are
like
you sure you
not
can't
like
like
attempted murder.
reconcile this? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, select a box at the courthouse of why you're getting divorced. And it's like, well, infidelity, yeah, but there's so much more,
Maybe he's just trying to be classy about it. He's like, I don't even.
His lawyer probably put it in. I doubt he said anything. He probably was just having a meltdown, and his lawyer was like, "I got this."
I mean, I can't, and that was only 2 weeks ago. I don't even know if you can process it within 2 weeks. He probably still hasn't even figured out.
Certainly not. And to go home to your home, your family
Oh,
home.
with like framed pictures of you and like everything smells like her. Like her food is still in the fridge. Like, I mean, it's
Ugh.
it's the same as any breakup after you've lived with somebody, I guess. But this one's like
Except with the
everything's
added.
tainted.
Yeah,
Everything
and
is.
now being famous, it's like the whole fucking world is gossiping about it too. So it's not even like you get that privacy. I
Well,
mean,
that's what I would feel so paranoid about. Like, am I safe at all? It's
am
like
I
you
a target
already.
now?
Yeah, you already as someone with fame, you're already maybe nervous about like your about security, and
Yep.
now it's like, well, shit, security wasn't going to save me from this, you know?
Yep, yep, yep. And ooh, it's so unsettling. He also requested full custody of their two dogs, Gracie and Max, stating that he had always been their primary caregiver anyway.
Yeah, and
Fuck
also she
yeah.
might kill them. She's
Yeah, please
apparently will kill
take the
living things.
dogs away from her. I'm glad Aaron got the puppies at least. That's good.
Well, I wonder if he's like staying with Zach or something. Like, I wonder, like, I wouldn't be able to live in that house. I wouldn't even want to be in that house because what if the hitman's still out there and knows where I live or
Ooh,
something?
yeah, or the guy in prison knows. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure where he is right now. I think that probably they're trying to keep that under wraps. But I will say, speaking of Zach, we do have a little bit on the GA front.
Okay.
Zach has reportedly been very, very devastated for his friend and says he's giving all the support the team can. I combed Reddit and I found this screenshot of Zach's Instagram story from the other day, just as like exactly what you'd expect, like trying to be comforting, but also like, was that the move, bud? Like it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't bad. Here, I'll show it to you.
Was it
Okay.
the Bob Marley song?
Yes, yes. Oh, you saw that? Okay.
I did.
Literally
He posted
Bob Marley.
posted pictures of him and Aaron together with the song "Every Little Thing Is Gonna Be All Right,"
It's so cringe. I'm sending it to you just again so you have it.
which like
And then I'll
I have to like I when I think of two men
I know.
being there for each other, it's already so few and far between that I don't want to criticize the
I don't want to
attempts,
hate on like their attempt at being comforting and loving to each
like
other. Right.
trying, but at the same time, it's like, hmm,
Yeah.
I don't know, I wouldn't have done it, but whatever,
He
not my
basically, yeah.
friendship.
It's the two of them, and they're cute photos. I mean, Aaron looks fucking nuts in all of them, but I guess that's kind of his
His
eyes.
shtick.
Yeah, his shtick. It says Bob Marley, and then he put a heart like GIF floating around, and then like everything will be all right in text, and it's like
Yeah,
thanks.
it's yeah.
Yeah, it's kind. I feel like, as far as Zach goes, nobody knows how he's gonna react, but I think he's been very, very. Oh, and then somebody on Twitter jokingly or X or whatever, jokingly, I guess, said like, should have been Zach, just saying, or
Oh
something.
my
I
god.
know, and I was like, not cute. And then Zach retweeted it and said, I'd be careful what you say, dot, dot, dot. And I'm like, wait, now are you threatened? Like, what's going on,
Yeah.
everybody? But
Yeah.
Zach was like, I
But
just can't
also,
wait for how this is going to turn out with Zach on the show.
I know, and I'm sure there's a million people. I can only imagine on Reddit people being like, "What do you think Zach thinks about it all?" It's like, what do you think he thinks? His best friend almost got fucking murdered. Probably not good
Right?
things. I've never understood that when they're like, "I wonder what they think." It's like you have a brain. You can
Yeah,
guess what they
like,
think. You
he's
can
not
guess.
that out of the ordinary that he wouldn't know to be
Like
sad
we
and
don't like him because he's annoying, but like he's we also like. I'm pretty sure I can guess that he has the same feeling any other person would
He
feel.
has enough sense, I would think. He's a pretty successful person and businessman and public figure. Yeah, I would assume he knows how to react when something traumatic happens to a friend. Obviously, this is like, very niche as far as traumatic events go, like very rare. But still, you're right. Like, he was. I mean, I assume he was pretty. And everyone affiliated with all the sources that have reached out to papers or have
I
talked to
can't
papers have
imagine
said he's
the
been pretty good.
I can't imagine that night of ghost hunting, and
Oof.
I'm assuming they wrapped for the night. I hope they wrapped for the
I
night.
hope so.
And like going back to the hotel that night, like I don't think anyone slept. They were all probably just like in shambles. And also like I'd
He
be
probably
like,
had to go into the police station.
oh yeah. Well, I was gonna say if he even went back to the hotel room, they probably just switch hotel rooms if they thought that
Oh,
like.
that too, yeah.
Oh well, no. That was from 6 months later. I
Yeah, that
guess.
was
Never
later. I
mind.
don't think this was well after, but the fact that, like, she knew where he was at that moment because
Yeah,
she was still out and was still operating under this idea that, like,
I'm telling
"I
you,
didn't do anything."
I would be so scared to be alone ever after that. Like this has to
I'd
have
almost be more
caused some
scared to
sort
be
of
around
like.
people. I feel like, "Just leave me alone in my
Oh,
little
really?
hidey hole." Yeah.
I would think this would give me some like level of like agoraphobia, but also like always wanting someone nearby in case something happened or
Something
I don't
safe, somebody
know.
safe. Yeah, yeah.
It will do
It's hard to
something
even
to him.
imagine,
It
you
will
know?
do something to him psychologically
I
for
would
sure.
imagine so, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that poor
Um,
guy.
yeah, it's really blows because everyone, of course, in the comments was like, "Hey, like, of all people, really? Aaron's gone through enough." Like,
Yeah.
this guy, he's already being kind of, like, mock bullied on camera for, like, the shtick.
And it feels almost like this is like written like it's a movie because it's like why would the guy who's already like known for like dark entertainment all of a sudden be the victim here? Like
Oh,
it just
there were
doesn't.
also a lot of kind of speculative comments like, "Did Zach plan this?" And I'm
Oh
like,
my
"No,
god.
no, Zach did not plan that. Let's be real. Come on." But yeah, it does feel like right. I was telling Em, I was texting Em the other day being like, or maybe it was last night, being like, "This feels like we're in a simulation because how absurd." Like, it's just like, of
Yeah.
all things,
Yeah.
it just feels outrageous. Like, I don't know. I'm very curious, especially once the preliminary hearing starts, and I'm curious to see, like, what she pleads, and I
This
don't know.
probably I know this is like such a stupid non-important thing, but like I would imagine this would make him and Zach and all of his friends like so much closer. Like
Yeah.
think of all the people who are really rallying around to be
I
with him
mean,
right now.
honestly, next time it might be what's another one of their names? Aaron Nick's gone.
Billy, Jay.
Billy, get in the basement. And Aaron's like,
Yeah,
"Billy?
maybe
I've
hopefully
graduated?"
at the very least, hopefully Aaron never has to do anything he
I
never
mean,
wants to ever
please.
again.
You can't send the man who's traumatized by, like, a potential hit out on a hit on him and send him into an abandoned basement. Are you kidding? Like,
I
I'm
yeah.
scared to do that now, and no, and think about the context.
Obviously it's too soon right now, but I just know at some point this is going to get used as
Oh, the fact
material.
that they were like, "Oh, Zach says he's creative control, but he'll talk to the producers." I'm like,
Well, like
he's gonna be like, "Sorry, this was over my head." It's like, "No, you run this whole damn show. We all know it."
you know at some point when Aaron is healed up enough and wants to go back to work and all this stuff, you know that they're going to go to a location
Aaron,
where
buddy.
a woman tried to kill her husband and they're going to be like use it like it's
Zoom
going
in
to
on
be
his
something
face.
it's going to be something that's like really cringe.
Like,
It's going
so
to be
disrespectful of him. Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah. that he's gonna play along because he always does.
Or maybe he'll be fine by then. I mean, maybe he's gonna handle this like with
Maybe
like
he has
humor
like
or something, you
the
know?
right crew to really get him through it. I hope.
I hope, but
But everybody
I
in
just
the
know
fan base is like very supportive and like rooting for him. So, hopefully he
I
comes
can
out okay.
sense the impending material that will come from this eventually when everything is like said and done with.
I feel like this is beyond the other stuff of like whatever the hell has happened to Zach Bagans that he's turned into an entire like narrative of his life. This is
Caricature.
definitely something he'll milk until the end of time.
Yeah,
No doubt.
I think
Not that he
he's
doesn't care about Aaron, but he's also, above all else, a media mogul, so to speak. Like
he's a businessman.
He's a businessman. He knows.
I think he has enough of a brain and heart
Mm-hmm.
to hold off until he's been given the green light. But then when he's given the green light, we are never going to hear the end of this.
Oh my God, he's never gonna stop. And I just wanted everyone to hear the story before we get to that point because it's like I don't know what's gonna come of this, but imagine the dramatic recreations that could potentially exist. It's gonna be out of control.
I know. Ugh. Well, oh, when did the blazer come off? I didn't even see.
When I got really sweaty and was like, oh, I don't like wearing this anymore.
Well, well
about
done
halfway through.
on your reporting. That was beautiful.
Thank you. I really did think about doing the whole thing like that, and then I was like, that's so fucking annoying, so I stopped. But I've been practicing my reporter voice a little bit.
It's
I'm
excellent.
very rusty. Thank you. And now I finally have my own blazer. I used to borrow Allison's in college all the time, and it was ill-fitting on both of us. But we would like, because she was in business classes and I was in journalism classes, so we'd like pass the blazer back and forth. But unlike the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, the blazer did not fit either of us. So it feels nice to finally have a blazer that I can like a power suit.
Yeah. I like to think that you were in a blazer up here, but down there you're just still in your underwear. You're just like you like a full COVID job interview.
You're not far off. You're not far off. I'm in those boxer shorts that you showed me at the Pendleton whatever store.
The ones I got you, those are
the plaid.
Those are good.
Yeah, those ones. Yeah.
I bought you boxers.
Awesome.
They rule.
They rule. I'm not going to show anyone because I have not shaved my legs, but just know
that they're there. All the hair, all the hair, and all the legs are all there. Thank you for your insane story. I don't think you'll get another breaking case like that.
Gosh, that felt nice. It felt so on point for both of us. Like we
100%.
Like, wow. And I just all the respect to them. I'm not trying to milk this for anything. I just thought we should hear what was going on. So
yeah.
Remember when I said it would be short? Now it's over 2 hours. Sorry.
Mine was an hour long. Next week I'm gonna have such a short one because I'm so that stupid Catholic story. I'm not even Catholic, and that made me miserable. I can't imagine.
No, but it was good though. But I feel like we got quite a taste for medieval exorcism practices. So,
Oh man,
that's a win in my book.
Well done, Christine. If everyone would like to hear us talk even more, you can head over to Patreon and our Yappy Hour. By the time this comes out, we will have just done our Portland and our Seattle shows, but we still have a few shows left of the tour. I think we got like 7 shows left.
Yeah.
So come on down.
I know some of them are sold out, so go check if your town has tickets. It's the last time we're doing the show this year, so please come check it out and come see us. If you want to see Yappy Hour, patreon.com/ATWWD podcast. And thanks for joining us on this ride.
And
that's
why
we
drink.